A very good evening and welcome to round 2 of the Formula Student Sim Racing Series 2025-2026. I'm Giles Cosgrove, and joining me here in the commentary box, we've got Jess Ball. Give a wave, Jess. And
Hello,
we've also...
Giles.
Hello, Jess. And we've got Monty as well. Hello, Monty.
Good evening, Giles. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. I'm a damn sight better than you are by the sounds of things. I mean, if you want proof that the country's going down with the flu, here's Monty. Coming up tonight, we have got some fantastic racing on the way for you as the teams set to the track. The track in question, the Virginia International Raceway, behind the wheel of those classic Mazda MX-5s. The conditions, as you can see on your screen there, a few clouds. It's a night race. The virtual time on the track will be 11 o'clock in the evening with a temperature of 24 degrees Celsius. The format, we will have a sprint and feature race this evening as we did in the previous round. So plenty of that to come. We've got 2 streams tonight as well. We've got 2 different streams going on because so many people have said that they want to see what's going on over in server 2. So we are happy to oblige, and we're providing 2 different streams. So you've got the main stream here for server 1 that you're watching right now with live commentary. And if you go onto the Formula Student UK YouTube channel, you'll also see listed the round 2 server 2 stream. So if your team is competing in server 2, you can see all of the action there. We will caveat that with there are no commentators over on that stream. So if you want the full coverage and the full commentary, you want to be sticking it here on server 1. So plenty of action to come up tonight. As we've been saying, we've got 2 different races. We've got the sprint race and the main race. Let's take you through the format that we have this evening at 6:30. In fact, we've already gone past. Qualifying is underway. And we will have the very first race in your eyes at 7 o'clock. That will take place for 35 minutes. We've got the feature race to kick off with this evening. So feature race at 7. Qualifying, the second race kicks off at 10 to 8 if all things go according to plan. Invariably they don't. Bear with us, it is live. And then once that is underway and accomplished and achieved, we will then go to the second race, and that is the sprint race. Only 15 minutes on the clock for that one. Same track, same cars, potentially different drivers for the teams. 8:20 for a 15-minute sprint race to round out the evening's coverage. Plenty of action to come. Jess, Monty, are we excited? This is always a great combination, the MX-5s and Virginia International Raceway. It's always great. I'm excited. I'm assuming you are as well.
Okay, Giles, I'm just going to interrupt you for a second because I can see that our audience are able to hear what you're saying, but you have gone dead on Discord, so you may just need to log off and log in again. Don't know about you, Jess, or if that was just a me issue going on there.
It was not just a you issue because I wasn't able to hear Giles earlier, but hopefully you were able to hear Giles, fingers crossed, because of the way we did it.
Yes, no, definitely. So I can see that, Giles, that apparently you guys could still hear Giles, but we can't. So he's just reconnecting his mic in Discord now, so we can hear him and carry on the conversation.
Yes.
But whilst he does
he's
that...
here.
Have you returned, Giles?
I have returned. I do apologise for that. Technical difficulties. It just proves we're live.
Exactly. Exactly. It wouldn't be an FS live stream if there wasn't a technical issue. Get it over and done with within the first 5 minutes of the broadcast, right?
I think that's the best way to go about it. So, as you can see, we've accomplished the Shankenshang ring. I'm going to do my best with that. That's round 1 done and dusted, and we kick off almost as we left off last year, really. Queen Mary taking the win, followed in second by York with Leicester in third, and now we've got this second round to come. Is it worth talking, Monty, about the changes that were made after various protests were lodged with the stewards at the end of the last round?
Yes, absolutely, Giles, because the results we were showing you guys at the end of the last stream are not how we are starting off. So as things were left at the end of round 1, on the screen you can see now the official results for round 1. So long story short, that controversial incident that you guys saw with Southampton and Vigo on the last lap was investigated, and Southampton were given a time penalty after the race. So that knocked them all the way down to 9th overall. And their pain was basically everyone else's gain. So look at that. Leicester and Delft were actually joint 3rd position in the end. Leicester being given the final podium spot on a countback because they won one of the races. But you know, tip your hat off to Delft. First ever time taking part in the Sim Racing Series. And they finished 4th position, and that was after starting at the back of the grid for both of the races as well. So seriously impressive stuff from the newcomers. Vigo were promoted to 5th. Hull, University of Surrey and Hertfordshire's A team all benefited from Southampton's pain, shall we say, whereas the University of Greater Manchester also benefited from some other penalties further down the field to round up the top 10 now. So that is the points as we enter round 2. Kind reminder though to everyone that it's 120 points potentially up for grabs now at each of the rounds. We've had a reshuffle of the points because there are so many more teams taking part this season. So yeah, there's potentially 120 points up for grabs if a team can win both races on the night.
Fantastic stuff, and already we've got plenty of comments coming in over on the live stream. Thank you ever so much to everybody who's already got in touch. Adam says he's watching from Aberdeen and I'm watching my Pookie Callum, Scotland. Meanwhile, Blind19 says, I love USM, Strathclyde University there. Go Surrey, says Ant the Man. Meanwhile, Queen Mary Formula student, a lot of orange love hearts there from GTV Archangel, a regular here on the stream. Like to see GTV back with us. Let's go UOL, bucket hat supremacy, says Amelia Jono. I do love their bucket hats. I'm rather partial to one myself. Meanwhile, UCLM the best and UCLM El Major say a couple of comments over in the stream as well. UCLM being the University of Castilla-La Mancha, which is over in Spain, I'm reliably informed according to Google. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I'm going to be all right with geography tonight. I've decided.
Well done, Giles.
Thank you.
I was about to applaud you, Giles, for your improved geography knowledge there, but no, there had to be a Google tab on another page in the background.
You shouldn't have said you did it on Google.
I've got the live stream computer and I've got the geography computer. There are two different computers running to keep me on air this evening. That and if we're gonna get continental, my dinner for the evening, a very large French stick. In fact, it's white Parisian style baguette. So there we are. That's my dinner.
Lunchtime. I had that at lunchtime.
I got the whole thing. 26p. Always great to go into a shop just before they close because everything gets reduced. Anyway, back onto the subject of racing rather than us lot messing about. Keep your comments coming in. Adam Y says McScottish. Kareeman says, guess where University of Balmain. Don't do that to me, Kareem. No. I was doing so well.
Yes,
don't do that to me.
Yes.
McScottish is coming in clutch and saving me from that one. Lebanon. Thank you, McScottish. Big up the McScottish.
You're assuming that he's got that one right, of course, Giles.
Yeah, you know, even Scottish could be playing on you and lying on you, so you never know.
He's far more likely to be right than I am. Anyway, shall we talk about Virginia International Raceway and the race that we've got coming up tonight? Because it's a classic combination here at the Formula Student Sim Racing Series. We have performed it before. We're going to again. And I think I'd like to ask the pair of you, as I often do at this time in a broadcast, your predictions, please, for the forthcoming feature race and the sprint race.
Oh, that is a tough one, but we don't know who's racing in either of the races. So for some teams, it does depend on whether who's racing in one of the races. Of course, whichever race Dylan Warren is racing, he's going to win that one. I think the other one, I'm going to do a bold prediction. I think Queen Mary is going to win the race that York doesn't win. So there you go. Those are my predictions. What about you, Monty?
Oh, I'm kind of stuck on this one as well, Jess. You're quite right. It depends on when the teams decide to field their star drivers as well. Looking at the entry list for tonight, I mean, we've got Nev Cohen back for Glasgow, for goodness sake. So I think there's going to be lots of fireworks going on. So can you imagine Nev and Dylan Warren in a race together?
You took the words right out of my mouth, Monty. That's what I've been looking forward to the most this evening. Having seen that we've got Nev back, that's a match I want to see. Wheel-to-wheel racing between York and Glasgow with those two drivers behind the wheel. Rubbing my hands together there. Talking of Scottish drivers, McScottish has pointed out that Strathclyde and, of course, Balmain shared a garage comp. Hence why he's absolutely certain as to the location of that university.
Okay. So he's not lying.
Scott M69 says 11 p.m. Are we racing in the dark?
I'm going to have to refer
That is correct.
I'm going to have to refer this one to the administrators. I'm going to say yes if that's what the graphic I've been supplied says, but that does not necessarily mean that there's been a miscommunication somewhere. Don't know if any of the admin team is listening just now. Feel free to pop in a comment just to clarify what the situation is. I was noting that the cars were practicing in the dark throughout today, so potentially
I've messed up already. It's a minor geographical glitch. Strathclyde are based in Glasgow, and I, for some reason, thought that McScottish was over at Strathclyde when he's famously racing for Aberdeen.
Oh my God, Giles! Right, you were doing so well, Giles. Right.
Normal
okay.
service has resumed, and my sense of direction has not improved.
I mean, there's no excuse. This is Blighty as well, Giles. So
I know. McScottish just commented, Giles, you need to brush up on your geography knowledge, my man. Yes, I know. Hey, look, as long as the sat-nav gets me where I need to go, it doesn't matter. Or the driver, or the pilot. Anyway, so Jess's predictions, York and Queen Mary. Monty and myself both looking forward to seeing what happens when you put Dylan Warren and Nev Cohen on the track at the same time.
I'm just
Plenty of action to come
if I could
then.
just add to that one, actually, Giles, I'm just thinking, so the last time that we came here, so for a quick context, everyone, this season is a celebration, basically. It's celebrating 5 years of Formula Students Sim Racing Series, and so all the combinations we are racing at the season are the best of combinations which we have raced in the past. And of course, the last time we came to Virginia, with the MX-5s, the racing was stonking. Vigo kind of showed us for the first time how competitive they were properly. Exeter as well, suddenly out of nowhere, had the cheek to go and overtake Southampton and stuff. So MX-5 seems to bring out teams you wouldn't expect, and I do remember Vigo also winning a race last year in the MX-5s when we were at Charlotte Roval. So irrespective of drivers, I would fancy chances on Vigo doing well again this weekend.
I can see that. I can see that. I love, for whatever reason, tracks in the United States pair very nicely with the Mazda MX-5. It's like wine and cheese.
Yes, I'll just nod and agree with you on that one.
Meanwhile, I'm being
And
told
I'll just
I've
go
got
there and smile.
I've got to go and play a game of Daily Global, which apparently is Wordle with maps. To improve my geography skills. That's Amelia's suggestion from over in Leicester.
I got a good idea for Giles's BT for later on in the season. He should do GeoGuessr. What do you think, Monty?
Yes, yeah. Let's do some GeoGuessr. Whoever gets the most points, Giles, that can be our VT for over Christmas.
Well, I thought you were just going to plonk me down in the middle of nowhere and say, "Here's a map. Try and get to Silverstone." So. I prefer a game of GeoGuessr, to be completely honest with you.
That's fair.
Now, please keep your comments coming in. I'd love to know where you're watching from and who you are supporting. Not to mention, of course, do please remember that we have got a second stream going on tonight. So if your team is competing in Server 2, you can actually see what's going on. Meanwhile, if you're out and about and you can't necessarily look down at a screen, whether you're driving or whether you're in a social situation that you don't want to be in, maybe you've been dragged to your office Christmas party and you'd much rather be watching or listening to the coverage of the Formula Students Sim Racing Series, then don't worry, tune in to Express Radio live from Cardiff, where the radio coverage of this race will be broadcast. So we've got you covered. We have got you covered. Meanwhile, GTV Archangel has made a suggestion here. Can we have an in real life round of shopping trolleys around Tesco? Not a bad shout. FS Sim Racing Series GeoGuessr tournament has been suggested by McScottish. Currently skiing, Giles. How about that? Oh yes. Can someone is there a way of getting a photograph into the Discord and we can put that up during the Formula Student News? If you can get a photograph via your team's rep into the Discord, we will put that up on the stream. Watching Formula Student while skiing, I think, is probably the most rock and roll thing we've had thus far.
So fully agreed. If you guys have heard that memo, could you put it into the Race Clips and Highlights channel? I'll keep an eye out on that one for any print screens coming through. No, not Race Clips at all. We've got a channel for screenshots. Jeez, Monty. Oh dear, the brain's not working at all tonight.
You'll need to look at two of the channels. And Monty, we figured you because you're not feeling very well, are you?
Absolutely no, they're definitely not. Screenshot channel, please, guys. Use the screenshot channel in Discord if you're wanting any images for us to share during the FS News.
F in the chat for flu for Monty, please. Meanwhile, Hugo Sevilla saying, "Come on, UCLM." Alpha Eagle 7539, UCLM the best. And Ben Robertson saying, supporting Surrey all the way from Plymouth. Also somehow ended up in the race later. Well, yes, indeed, that's rather amusing because Ben, you're listed here. I've been tagged in Surrey's post about who's driving. So Lewis Mann is driving for Surrey alongside Ben himself, who I think is rather surprised to be driving for them by the looks of things.
Surprise.
Meanwhile,
Good luck.
talking of various clips and that sort of thing in the FS news, we'll be talking this evening about Formula Student Online, the online series that myself, Monty, Jess, Cheryl, Luke, and of course John Dangerfield, the man himself, have all been making over the past few months. It's been a hell of a lot of work. Big up to John and big up to Cheryl, and it's fantastic stuff. We've been touring around various different universities and motorsport facilities. We've been to several Formula One teams, and it's just been fascinating to see the career progression that opens up to you by taking part in Formula Student. And there's also been a lot of support for the sim racing. Of course, Williams have got their eSports facility, and Williams Sim Racing are one of our key title sponsors, so thank you ever so much to them. Meanwhile, of course, Dan Jones, that you'll know from the rule book, and that is actually worth talking about because there's been an update to the rules for electric vehicles across Europe in the Formula Student world, so I'll talk to you about that in just a second. Dan Jones, a big believer and a big supporter of us here at the Sim Racing. He understands the connections between what we do here in terms of simulation and the real world applications there. Meanwhile, in fact, would you like to see a bit of what we get up to on the Sim Racing?
Absolutely.
Roll
Yeah,
VT.
let's do it.
Righto.
If that looked and sounded like a bit of you.
Uh-oh, Giles has gone again. You can see him, but we can't hear him because his Discord's screwing around again. It's got to be an evening for technology, I think.
It might well be.
Oh, we can hear him now. Hello. As you were saying.
As I'm trying to say, yes, there we are. Welcome to the world that is Edurome. Can you believe that this is coming to you via the power of Edurome from my end? So, yes, exactly. Those of you. Hey, look, well, Formula Student by name and Formula Student by nature. Edurome, thou art a heartless wench. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that if that looks like a bit of you, then stay tuned. We'll be talking more about the Formula Student Formula Student Online later on. And if you want us to come to your universities, then get in touch. We've been to visit Cardiff. I might be coming to you from Cardiff. We've been to visit Exeter. We've been to visit Hertfordshire. Where else have we been, Monty? There's other teams I swear we've spoken to.
Those were the three main universities that we've actually had tours around their campus so far. We have spoken to other universities as part of conversations when we went to other F1 teams and other engineering places, speaking to graduates and so forth. But yeah, if you've got something going on at your university and you want to kind of share about it and get us to chat about it, let us know. It'd be great to come up and see what's going on there. I actually went to NCME last weekend, believe it or not. I was up in Manchester.
What was that like?
Oh, honestly, what a facility. They took a lot of recording, and we did some interviews and stuff whilst I was up there. So I'm hoping we will have that video to show for round 3. They are working ferociously away on that one, but really good facility and fantastic to finally meet Harley London and the rest of the NCME, or Greater Manchester as they're now known as, team after 5 years of competing with us.
They've been a fantastic team.
That's all I can say. They take it seriously, and hopefully in the videos we can show next round, you can see just how much good equipment is in there.
Well, we've just been invited to come and visit UCLM over in Spain, so pack your bags and maybe we'll have a holiday.
Oh, especially this weather just now. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you so much.
Monty very clearly down for UCLM. You guys supply the paella, we'll get over that. Why is that funny? I've been to Spain. They eat paella in Spain. I was a few years. I used to go there a lot. I love it out there.
Okay, Giles.
Hey, look, I don't have to navigate. The pilot navigates, so my geography skills don't come into it.
Of course. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. I just sit back and chill with a book, and by the time we get there, I'm in a different country, and I'm all smiles. It's great. Such is the life of a tourist, and that's all I'm good for, really. Put it this way: you don't want to be stranded with me on an island. Right now, though, we've got a minute. We would love you at Strathclyde. I've been to Strathclyde. I popped over to Strathclyde in May, and it's their facility is brilliant, and it also happens to be quite literally on the ground that my father was born on.
Well, you can go again.
It used to be a maternity hospital, and it's now, of course, University of Strathclyde. So yes, that's where my dad was born, weirdly enough. In fact, I went over there to see where my dad was born, and then the guys from Strathclyde came out in their overalls and were like, can we show you how far we've got with the car so far? On that note, talking of electric cars, because I know Strathclyde run an electric car, I want to talk about the update to the rules that's been published recently. I know Dan Jones likes to say read the rules, and I know Dan Jones unfortunately isn't here right now, so I shall read it for them. The recently released V1.1 of the European rules contains several key changes to EV 5.8, which would force many teams to redesign and remanufacture or buy new elements of their tractive system accumulator. We have been in discussion with most other European events. There is a common consensus that this rule change is too late and disadvantages teams looking to reuse existing hardware or that had already frozen their designs. So, and here's the big thing, if you've got an EV car and you're looking to compete in Europe as well as FS UK, for the 2026 event, EV teams are permitted to comply with EV 5.8 from either the UK rules of 2025 or 2026. So either one. You can either comply with the 2025 ones, which were the same across the board, or the European ones for 2026. Which, more details are available on the Formula Student Instagram account, and please raise a question on the FSQD if you require any further clarifications specific to your design. So there it is. We'll point that out again during the Formula Student news, as I think it's well worth making sure that everyone is aware as best as possible. Because at this time of year, you're locked in with your designs. Most people are going through a design freeze at this stage, so we're going to reiterate that later on.
Absolutely. Actually, that was one of the topics I was speaking about on the Formula Students Online on the podcast with Rory during Silverstone, because obviously Biscaya won the whole thing with an electric car, which was also compatible with the European regs last year. So this ties quite nicely into how they were able to do it, and these rule changes will be able to enable other teams to be able to bring their EVs to both the UK and the rest of Europe, hopefully.
I'd be down for that. I think it's well worth you checking out that video if you haven't seen it. Monty interviewing the team to show that it is possible to be compliant with both sets of rules.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, I can't believe this, Leicester have offered us a hat if we go up and visit Leicester. They said we can have a bucket hat if we go and visit Leicester with the podcast.
Yes, I want one. I want one because their hats are so awesome, by the way. Also, shout out to Leicester. They won the second race in round number 1, and they're a team I think that we haven't talked about much tonight, Giles. We talked about Glasgow, we talked about York, we talked about all the other teams, but we haven't talked about Leicester. So keep an eye on Leicester in particular for race 2. And we got quite a lot of teams tonight in each server. Do you want to know how many teams we got in each server, Giles? 26.
Yes, please.
26 teams.
Crikey Moses, that's a heck of a lot of teams, a heck of a lot of drivers, not a lot of room on track. So as you can see, here are the teams in free practice competing in server 1. If your team isn't here but you know they're driving tonight, don't fret, head over to the FS YouTube channel and you can catch the server 2 action there presented to you in a separate stream. Right now you're here with the full live coverage of server 1, all the action there. Right here, it's coming to you from myself, Jess, and Monty. So we're moments away from lining up on the grid. We'll be able to take you through all 26 teams out on track. That's going to be really quite interesting, I must say, because, of course, there will be a lot of wheel-to-wheel action, as we've often come to expect with the Mazda MX-5s and the Virginia International Raceway combination. So Jess's predictions was for on the end of Queen Mary and, of course, York. Myself and Monty.
So York for race 1.
Yeah, myself and Monty, we're quite interested to see what happens between York and of course Glasgow. But as you were mentioning there, Jess, Leicester, well worth a shout as well. They won a race in round 1, and we know how myself and Monty have experienced racing alongside them wheel to wheel. I say racing alongside them. Monty was racing them. I was just letting them by because there was no way in hell I was able to keep up with that. You can see them on your screens there. Ward driving for the University of Leicester in car number 11A. Let's go UCLM. Lots of love for UCLM on the stream. Meanwhile, Amelia saying they're going to actually need to buy some hats in if we're coming. I would say order those hats, Amelia. Yes, please. I love a bucket hat, especially a Leicester branded one. They look sick. I'll wear it to Glastonbury if you get it to me in time. Or Isle of Wight this year. More to the point.
Have we got time to do a quick shout out to Rob again for a fantastic piece of work with his skins.
Look at this.
These are
gorgeous.
Look at the
they
pit base.
really
He's
are.
done it again. We've got FS banners everywhere. Actually, what's mine looking like?
Yeah, I want to see this.
Oh, I'm a gingerbread house.
Oh, look at that!
Give me more, but yes.
No, hang on, look who's on the naughty list.
Oh dear, it's mixed Scottish on the naughty list. Oh dear.
Oh,
So
he's
is that
not
David?
gonna be
Is
happy
that
about
David?
that.
Is that David Boreanaz from Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the top of the Christmas tree, as in Angel?
It does.
That's genius, James. You have excelled yourself.
Rob has excelled himself.
Rob, you've excelled yourself, and I've got the names. Look at the presents in the back.
It's a sleigh, right?
And it's sleigh. It's something. It's similar to what Rob did last year as well, where Monty was dressed as Santa, and it was a pink car last year, if you remember, Monty.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I'm loving
there's the
this.
presents
Look
in
at
the
that.
back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rob, you've really excelled yourself. I think,
Merry
to be honest with you,
Xmas, MX-5 miss. That's clever. But,
oh man, that's amazing.
This is Rob, who used to be part of Aberdeen's team, by the way. So
Yes.
Yeah, hence why Look Scottish is on the naughty list.
And the mints. Look at the wheels. We've got the little sugar mint candy canes.
Oh yeah, the candy, the sugar canes.
Yeah, you've outdone yourself this time, sir. You really have. However, right, has our grid been formed? It has not. Right, come on, server. I want to see the grid so Jess can, with anticipation, tell us who is on pole position, because we've got some big names in here tonight, guys.
Yeah, we do. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it now, because we got our grid up.
Oh,
I think it's going to be in the order.
Whoa!
No, we got the University of Greater Manchester, formerly known as Bolton, on pole position here this evening. That is very great to see. Next, we have got Coventry A in second. We got Vigo in third. They're the ones to watch. We've got fourth, University of Glasgow, which is a big name. So 3 big names in third and fourth. We got Southampton in fifth. Dylan Warren for York A, only down in 6th position. We got UCLM in 7th position. We have got is that Surrey?
Correct.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
it is Surrey. Yeah, it is Surrey in 8th. We've got Aberdeen in 9th. Biscaya in 10th. We've got De Montfort in 11th. We've got Exeter B team in 12th. Welcome to server 1, guys. Really, really great to see. And then we have got, I'm just trying to see what it is. We've got the Ghulam Isaac Khan Institute of Engineering Science and Technology down in 13th. I had to get the entry list to say that. We've got Hong Kong Polytechnic 14th. We've got Leicester in 15th. We have got Heriot Watt in 16th. York B 17th. Sheffield Hallam in 18th. Sorry, I'm going so fast. It's crazy. We got York Alumni in 19th, which is one of my favourite liveries, by the way. Queen Mary in 20th. That's a bit shocked to see them down there after winning overall last time. We got Hertfordshire B team in 21st, Queen's University Belfast B team in 22nd, Hong Kong Polytechnic B in 23rd. We got Hull Alumni in 24th. We have got Hertfordshire A in 26th, and in 25th. Sorry, in 26th we got. I'm just trying to find it on my spreadsheet because I can't find it for the Doubts. There we go. And I believe quite a lot of them are starting at the back because there are a 1 driver entry, and I believe Doubt is one of them.
Thank you very much for that, Jess. There's some interesting
huge grid. This is absolutely massive.
And this is just half of the grid, though, guys. Remember, we've got another 26 cars in the second server as well. If your team isn't here, in the chat just now, you can see the link to the second server. We are live streaming both races tonight, so have both up, have a look at both races, and yeah, best of luck to everyone.
Going to be a fantastic evening of racing if anything's to go by. You'll notice then that Glasgow's A team, Nev Cohen on 4th, and down in 6th, Dylan Warren for York A. And that's going to be a guaranteed duel between those two. So very much looking forward to that. I also would be remiss not to mention that Luke Chapman's Formula Student Sim Racing debut has qualified him in 9th. So a big shout out to Luke for that excellent performance. Because I know, Monty, that there have been some teams that have found it hard to get within 107% for this round. And it's not easy by any means. They make it look easy to these drivers, but it's not easy. Moments away from going racing then. For the first race tonight, it is the feature race for round 2 of the Formula Student Sim Racing Series 2025-2026. Giles and Jess in the commentary box with support from Monty. Mazda MX-5s around the Virginia International Raceway. It's a track that we've done before here on the Sim Racing Series, celebrating 5 years of what has been one of the highlights of the calendar for me. And we're about to go racing again. You can guarantee we're going to get some fantastic wheel-to-wheel action. A surprise pole position for the team formerly known as Bolton. Commentary rounding out the top row there. Keep your eyes on 4th with Glasgow. And of course, Dylan Warren with York A in 6th. Here come the lights then. We're about to go racing for the first time tonight for the Formula Student Sim Racing Series. Here come the lights. Here come the revs. And away they go. That's a fantastic start for Bolton. Bit slow off the line there from commentary, allowing Vigo to pull alongside them. Glasgow's A team with Nev Cohen back behind the wheel, duking it out already with Southampton and York A as they approach the second corner. And in they go. And that is round the outside, 3 abreast. And a fantastic result there for Glasgow's A team, securing them. Oh, they're swapping left, right, and centre here, but it's Bolton that are pulling away. Commentary managing to keep ahead of Vigo just about, and then from 3rd onwards, they're swapping around like cards on a card table.
Yeah, they are. What a great racing so far. And you can see quite a few teams riding the curbs quite a lot. And there's banging wheels between York A and someone else. Dylan Warren not have the best of starts. We've got De Montfort trying to go side by side with York A. Are they going to make the move stick? Yes, they can. We've got Biscaya that wants to join in on the action as well. This could be free wide here. They're not careful. There's side by side action happening at the front too. A lot of these drivers could play it safe and take the back seats. There's just so much action, Giles, happening around there.
It's incredibly tight. There's not a lot of room to manoeuvre around Virginia International Raceway, and we know for a fact that the cars themselves invite a lot of wheel-to-wheel action. And there's Delph already up into 22nd, having started from the back as a one-driver entry. Queen Mary, meanwhile, they're down in 24th. That's not what they will have wanted to see. Having won last time out, as you said earlier, Jess, leading the way with a gap of 1 second. It is Bolton, in fact, on Vigo. Vigo have managed to get through on Coventry. So your top 3 at the moment, Bolton, Vigo and Coventry. There's a whole train of cars building up behind the second place team, Vigo. Coventry following them with Glasgow very close indeed. And I will keep an eye, though, on the gap between Vigo and Coventry. Can Coventry make a move? No, they can't. But one team are trying to make a move is Southampton as they go wheel to wheel with UCLM from Spain down the inside. Can they get ahead? No, they get closed out as UCLM get back onto the racing line, close them down incredibly well, and UCLM cling on to 5th place. Meanwhile, De Montfort going side by side with York A. York A in an uncharacteristic 9th place, the top 10 then, trying to get through.
We're seeing a lot of people bumping on the curb again. It's one car's gone up. One car has gone up. That is De Montfort down in 16th position. Now down to 70. They're dropping everywhere as the York B team has gone down everywhere as well. 1 lap completed. I wonder what the strategy is going to be in terms of stops. I won't be surprised if they're thinking about more than 1 stop. Or maybe some people will try the 1 stop and see if it goes on. We're running on board with always a bridesmaid, never the bride. University of Southampton, the number 2, finished runner-up last year, and this is going to be very interesting. We could see them closing in on UCLM. UCLM definitely the dark horses so far, up into 5th place, doing a brilliant job, qualified well as well, and I love their livery up there in front. We'll see if Southampton could go for the pounce, Giles.
Absolutely, as they go down the start-finish straight, a huge amount of support on the live stream for UCLM. They're over from Spain as Southampton approach them, getting very, very close indeed. They touch the rear end of UCLM with the nose of the car from Southampton. There's no room between these cars as they try and get through on Glasgow, and UCLM dives down the inside of Glasgow. They touch, and Southampton are thinking, maybe I can have my way here and go through on the pair of them. Not quite, though. As you can see to the left of your screen, Glasgow is still there. Nev Cohen behind the wheel. They've got the racing line. UCLM trying to go wide round the outside. That's not going to work. They're trying to get the switch back now. Also trying to get the switch back at Glasgow. Not Glasgow, Southampton. They touch and Glasgow's forced out. And that's both Southampton and UCLM going through. Southampton just about ahead of their old rivals, Glasgow. UCLM getting their elbows out in the process. It was all happening there, Jess. Some incredibly tight racing.
This is why we come back to Virginia North Raceway, because we love it. We loved it while we're here in 2023, and these drivers are definitely giving their all yet again with this multiple car battle, and Southampton is right on the back of this, and I'm sure that they're not going to give up without a fight. They're going up the hill now, and that's going to be really interesting in terms of what gears they choose for here as well. We're seeing Hertfordshire B falling down the order, not good for them, but we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars following each other. We got one of the new teams down in up into 8th position. They're doing very well indeed. Chasing down Surrey doing well in 7th as well, which is brilliant. But all this is doing is allowing the top 2 just to have their battle on their own. Even the top 2 are close to each other. Everybody else, they're still close to each other, but nowhere near the leaders.
And this is it. Southampton are going for the move around the outside on UCLM. They pull alongside. They're right there with each other, swapping paint. And as UCLM are forced out of the way, but they've got the inside line, and they might have to cover off Southampton just about. Gonzalez behind the wheel there, the Minister of Defence, I'm reliably informed, but Southampton have got on the inside now, and they go ahead, and that is Southampton just about up into 4th place, and they go wide, but unfortunately UCLM aren't close enough to be able to take advantage of that. They break late, but if I was UCLM, I'd be a bit more concerned about Nev Cohen behind them for Glasgow, who's keeping it impeccably on the track and just waiting for UCLM to buckle under pressure. But unfortunately, Nev Cohen himself has got things to worry about in the rearview mirror. It's Surrey on the approach. Surrey in 7th coming up on Glasgow. Glasgow trying to get through on UCLM, held up in the process, allowing Surrey to reel them in. Surrey are going to want to make a move around quite possibly one of the most successful driver and team combinations we've seen in this series, Jess.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting now, because I know when it comes to pit stops, they would want some clear air later on as well. So I think the more cars get stuck in traffic, the more you're going to be left vulnerable later on. So I wonder if some drivers want to get out of this traffic in about 10 to 15 minutes time, so they could course a good lap time to try and close in again as well. This is another train that we're seeing at the moment. We've got X to B, which we're running on board with. We've got Biscaya, we've got Aberdeen, we've got York A, and we got the team for I can't remember the university name. I do apologise. It's not Hong Kong Polytechnic. It's a completely different university, Giles, in 8th position. But there we go.
Oh, in 8th. I see what you mean. Sorry, I thought we were talking about the team coming up on the behind of course, Exeter there behind them. They've got Hong Kong Polytechnic on the approach, and they try to go around the outside. They're not close enough. Can they get the switch back, though? Not a lot separating them. They dive down to the inside. A last-minute lunge for Hong Kong Polytechnic on Exeter's B team, and that's Hong Kong Polytechnic up. Is it though? Is it? No, it's not. It looked like it from a wide shot, but they go round the outside, and Exeter B team clinging on for dear life to 12th position. And no, they don't manage it, and they have to yield as Hong Kong Polytechnic go through into 12th position, relegating Exeter's B team into a valiant 13th.
Honestly, it's a good showing for them in the top server so far. Don't forget, with the point system that Monty was talking about earlier, even if you score low points in the top server, you still got to score considerably more points than if you are in the middle server. Well, the bottom server for tonight. So they're definitely giving it everything right out there. They're still going to go side by side here, but I think Queen University Belfast is definitely going to stay out this one, not go side by side. Yeah, we'll see. Going off the track a little bit. This is going to be interesting. The Queen's University Belfast, they're going to go up the hill, swooping through, and Queen's University Belfast has gained another position into 21st place past York's B team.
Indeed, Jess, and that is Queen's University. Leicester, meanwhile, we were anticipating a higher position for Leicester, but they're down currently in 23rd. Meanwhile, according to the live stream, Look Scottish can't believe his luck, saying, I've never seen an Aberdeen car this close to Warren for this long. Let's go, he says. Meanwhile, you're on board with Delft, who have been relegated back down into 25th. They were up into 22nd or 23rd at one point. They started at the back due to a one-driver entry. Exeter's B team overtaken again by Hong Kong Polytechnic as the pair of them duke it out. Dylan Warren down into 10th, struggling with this car and track combination compared to his usual dominance on track. Trying to get through then on Aberdeen and Vizcaya. Aberdeen looking in their rear-view mirrors as Dylan Warren lunges down the inside at the last minute. Can he get through? No, he can't. Aberdeen covering them off with the racing line. And trying to poke it through on the inside at every opportunity is Dylan Warren, but Aberdeen defending incredibly well, making the car almost double its width as it goes across the track. Meanwhile, up ahead, a gap of only 0.7 seconds between the top two drivers, so everything's incredibly close here. Going over the apex is Dylan Warren, very much trying to get through on Aberdeen, just can't quite find a way through. Meanwhile, Glasgow closing in on UCLM, who seem to have their entire team in the chat supporting them. They've got only 0.4 seconds, 0.3 seconds
I can't
between
hear
two
your
of them
Discord, Giles.
as they close in, but not enough to be able to make a move at the moment.
Yeah,
Having said that, Glasgow have managed to shake off Surrey, so that'll be a sigh of relief on the part of Nev Cohen. 25 minutes on the clock. Fastest lap goes to Vigo as they cross the line to start their 7th lap.
Time as me, which will be quite weird unless Monty could mute him for a little bit. So, yeah, your order at the moment, we've got Bolton in P1, Vigo P2, Coventry still having a mind their own in P3, and then we've got this battle we're seeing here, Southampton, UCLM and Glasgow. We've got Aberdeen and York A having a bit of a ding-dong battle in P9, a switcheroo from Aberdeen, which means Chapman is up into ninth, doing very well, the newcomer for Aberdeen, and that's great to see. I'm sure the Scottish will be very, very pleased with that. In fact, we're actually going to see it right now as he's tucked within the slipstream, Aberdeen for York A at the moment, and this is really exciting to see from Aberdeen. I think this is something they want to do for quite a while. This track combination, of course, there's plenty of new drivers in this series absolutely loving this, but there's some drivers that are still getting used to this combination, and we are seeing a bit of dirty air trouble from some of the drivers, aren't we? So, Giles, are you back?
I am indeed, Jess, yes. And here we are then, quite a battle I wasn't expecting to see. I was anticipating a battle between Yorkshire and a Scottish team. I didn't have it on my cards that it would be between Aberdeen and York A. But nonetheless, Luke Chapman making his Formula Student Sim Racing debut, qualifying in 9th, having lost that one position to York A with Dylan Warren behind the wheel. An uncharacteristically challenged performance, shall we say, from Dylan here. And it is allowing the rookie to make an incredibly bold debut. Meanwhile, UCLM are being overtaken right now by Glasgow. And Glasgow go through on UCLM and they take 5th position. And into the pits is the first pit. Yes, in fact, we've got Harriet Watt. They are the first team into the pits with 23 minutes left on the clock. Queen's University Belfast go through them. In fact, pretty much everyone has gone past them, and Harriet Watt are relegated to 25th. Why?
Yeah, that's correct.
Why now, Jess, is the question. Why now?
I think they might have got stuck in traffic, or they were just struggling a little bit with the dirty air, so they want to find some clear air to set some laps in. But it's interesting to see what the other ones would do. I've just seen when we were on board with Harriet Watt, they missed their pit box ever so slightly. So are they going to lose some time? I think so, but it depends where they are on track. What's happened to Hong Kong Polytechnic? They're off the circuit, Giles. It's this way, mate. You're on the wrong side of the circuit, love.
I was going to say they're on the wrong side of the track. How have they managed to get there? You can't park there, mate.
He's going to hit a tree at this right.
That's an interesting glitch there from the server. How has it managed to do that? Because they can't find how they got through in the first place. And yet the game is allowing them to reverse on the other side of the wall, and they can't get back through. And all of a sudden, Hong Kong Polytechnic here are lost in no man's land, and all of a sudden it's a special rally stage for Hong Kong Polytechnic as they try and drive through the wall, trying to find the bit of the wall that doesn't exist according to the game. And that looks to me, they've gone to the pit. Are they going to be able to respawn from the pit lane, or is that Hong Kong Polytechnic's race over?
I hope it's not over, Giles, but do you know what they're doing? They were lawn mowing the grass like Valtteri Bottas did in Austria in 1 year. But looks like we got a battle for the lead. It's Vigo versus Greater Manchester for the lead. They've been so close for the entirety.
Oh, and that was a bit cheeky, Jess.
That was a bit cheeky.
That was a bit cheeky from Vigo, flashing their lights in the rearview mirror of the team formerly known as Bolton, and then just putting their nose right in the back end of the guys from Greater Manchester, side by side and onto the grass, and braking late. Very brave indeed from both teams as they go side by side. Bolton, Greater Manchester, whatever you want to call them, the nose ahead. But Vigo have got the inside line. Surely Greater Manchester are going to have to yield here, but no, they don't. And they sideswipe them. And that's Vigo pushed out of the way. Is it a racing incident? Who knows at this point? We wouldn't like to say. I know the stewards are going to have to make up their minds at some point. That is not us. As away go Greater Manchester, and Vigo, with a gap of 1 second, have got it all to do again with 20 minutes on the clock. I don't think this is the last we've seen of this battle for the lead as they head towards the line to complete their 8th lap. With 20 minutes to go, Jess, I don't think we've had the last of them. Meanwhile, Surrey closing in on UCLM. UCLM were in the top 5. Nev Curran from Glasgow put them back down into 6th, and now they've got Surrey coming through on them to close them down. Can Surrey make a late lunge here? I think it'd be incredibly brave to do so, but it's only a matter of a few corners as they close in incredibly tightly now on the back end of the Spaniards. Meanwhile, here is Queen Mary Formula Student. They're ahead of Hong Kong Polytechnic and Sheffield Hallam. Quite odd to see Queen Mary Formula Student down in this position.
I agree. They are struggling, Giles. Last week, the last round, they were on podium after podium after podium. But now they're just struggling to get inside the top 15, which is going to shake up the championship quite a bit. So we could see teams that were very close to Queen Mary capitalise on this. Your A, for example, Leicester as well, potentially. But I think they're down near the bottom somewhere. But yeah, there could be teams that did well in Turbo 1 last time that could capitalise on Queen Mary, but Queen Mary's got to be careful because Sheffield Hallam and Hong Kong Polytechnic B, they found their way back on the circuit, Giles. They're back on the circuit, but they're following Queen Mary. I did see some team go side by side. That's Hertfordshire A team versus De Montfort, and Hertfordshire A team is ahead.
Hertfordshire A up into 12th. Then we'll be hearing from them later on in the Formula Student News. Hong Kong Polytechnic a lap down after managing to find their way through the wall. Not sure quite how they did that, but nonetheless they have done so, and they're going to have to recover being a lap down. Meanwhile, here is Surrey, the team leader of the sim racing team, behind the wheel unexpectedly by the sounds of things. Coming up later, I urge Giles to check his Discord DMs. Yes, I have got the photograph. I repeat, I've got the diving down the inside. Goes Surrey on UCLM. And that is the team from Surrey ahead of the Spaniards with a bold and brazen move down the inside, expertly executed, cleanly so. They're side by side now, but that does look to me to be Surrey's position as wide go UCLM, trying to find a way round the outside. They just can't quite manage to do so. Meanwhile, here's what's going on over in the second server for those of you that are here watching all the action but may have interest in what's going on in the second server. We've got that for you in just a moment. The battle, though, between UCLM and Surrey, excruciatingly exciting, I must say. Now, racing standards today, not heartbroken emojis, says Matty.
I think I wasn't able to hear you, Giles, on Discord, but hopefully the stream were able to catch that. But you saw a little bit, and we're going to see what's going to happen in Server 2 a little bit later on as well. So keep an eye on that. You can also catch the stream with no commentary on the YouTube. So if you want to find out what's going on in Server 2, check out that stream. If you want to hear the stream with commentary, it is Server 1. Meanwhile, X to B team is having a nice ding-dong battle with one of the Yorkshire teams, the Alumni team. A lot of them were in the York A team last year, and they're down in 50 at the moment. Meanwhile, whole Alumni team got past Queen University Belfast up into 18th position. We're seeing the gap increase between Greater Manchester and Vigo by 1.3 seconds, but we're also starting to see a battle development up near the front for the final podium position. That's between Coventry and Southampton. And we also got Surrey versus UCLM, a team that's got a lot of support in the live chat. They're going to go side by side. We're also seeing Exeter and York alumni going side by side. Exeter B team trying to get the upper hand here. We'll see what they could do. Going down the inside into the very tight corner. We got Exeter B team that's going to try and do the switchback, and that was absolutely fantastic from Exeter B team. UCLM, on the other hand, I thought they got past Surrey on our timing monitors, but they haven't. Surrey has got past them, and they're ding-dong battling again, Giles. This is great stuff. Oh, I love this.
This is impeccable stuff then. UCLM holding off a charging Surrey. Their rear view mirrors full of yellow and blue. A fantastic defence there, I must say, from Exeter's B team. But right now, all eyes are on the battle between Surrey and UCLM. UCLM ahead, Surrey biding their time, trying to find a way through. You're on board with Surrey now as they sweep in, looking to the inside. There's no way in hell they're getting through there as the apex hones into view. They back off a moment, wondering perhaps whether they can just let UCLM crack under the pressure. They're not going to know as they go round the outside onto the grass of the start-finish straight, and UCLM dive into the pits with 15.5 minutes on the clock. That it allows Surrey to go straight on through. An interesting choice then from UCLM, who bring it into the pits, and the question then becomes, why, and is this the right choice in the right moment to do so? They've just gone through, they've just got to the very end of the pit lane, so they've overshot just a little bit.
We saw that with, I think, the Polytechnic A team that did that earlier on as well. But Giles, I think we got someone who's here to talk about what's happening so far in Server 2. Can you guess who it is, Giles?
Is it the man that compensates for my lack of hair with his incredibly long, luscious locks?
Yes, it is.
Such problems, sir.
we got James, talk us through what's happening in Server 2 so far.
We have got an incredible fight for the so far between Hull A and Exeter. There's been so many position changes between those two. They're just fighting bumper to bumper, rail to rail. You cannot split those two at the moment.
Oh, impeccable stuff. This is great to see. Any big surprises you've seen from the Server 2 so far? Were there any ones you weren't expecting to make forward moves in prime positions?
Never necessarily the cleanest, but you have fun with it.
Yeah, has anyone made any stops in Server 2, or has it just been like a sprint so far?
So far we've had about half the grid has pitted so far.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think there's more than pit in Server 2 than they did in Server 1, but we got a battle on our hands. James, thank you very much. Giles, take it away.
Yes, indeed, and that is Hunt's 18 up on car 57. Very well done indeed by them. There's no fight back from GIK. Hunt's 18 up into the top 10. I'll be very, very pleased with that. They're just going to get on the power and get away now because GIK are right there with them still. Meanwhile, still quite interested in the strategy call from UCLM as to why they chose to pit. Someone's commented in Spanish. I'm afraid to say I don't speak Spanish, sorry. And there is Hertfordshire's 18 pulling away indeed from GIK, and that is JJRacing, Hertfordshire 18 pulling away and rounding out the top 10. Sheffield Hallam, another team exiting the pit lane now. They went into for new tyres, I'm reliably informed. UCLM went in for new tyres. The question is though, will the other teams have to pit for tyres as well, or was that UCLM pushing a little too hard and cooking their tyres prematurely? We'll have to see. Sheffield Hallam then coming out of the pit lane into 24th position behind Hertfordshire's B team and Harriet Watt amongst others. Queen Mary down there with them in 21st, a rather stark turn of fortunes, having seen them outright win the last round. Very, very Disappointing for them, but then again, they have the option of a drop round, so let's not forget that. Meanwhile, leading at the moment with a gap of just under 1 second is the University of Greater Manchester. Vigo in second, Commentary in third. Wow, here we go then. Southampton all over the back end of Commentary. Can they get onto the podium in this race? Oh, going through on the inside. Are they going to make it work? This is really tight indeed as they go through the sweeping right-hander, cutting to the left though, and that's Commentary holding off Southampton really nicely, but this is not over in the slightest. Southampton have got a grappling hook to the back end of Commentary. Commentary braking, Southampton braking later, and all nearly getting close very there. Meanwhile...
It's getting a bit too close for comfort, it looks like, for both of these cars. That could have ended in disaster, but I think when a few people pitted for tyres, do you think the tyres will hold on? We've seen many situations around the circuit where we've had punches before, so these drivers have got to be careful with that, and we'll see what they can do. But look at the gap that the Greater Manchester and Bolton are trying.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Greater Manchester and Vigo in a league of their own, pulling well away from Commentary, who have got more to deal with behind them than in front, as Southampton are on the charge as they go down the start-finish straight. Another fastest lap goes to Vigo, only 0.7 seconds between Vigo and Greater Manchester. I don't think we've seen the last of that. That gap is dropping considerably. Are Greater Manchester in trouble here with 10.5 minutes to go? We'll find out shortly. Right now, it's Southampton who are putting the pressure on Commentary. Is out of the pits. In fact, into the pits comes Hertfordshire's A-team alongside, I believe, is that Hong Kong Polytechnic or is that GIK? That's GIK and University of Hertfordshire A-team into the pits. Both of them a very short stop for Hertfordshire's A-team, slightly longer for GIK. Fastest lap then goes to York's alumni team, and that is Hull and Delft both coming through on GIK, who are still in the pit lane. Hertfordshire's A-team back out on track and into traffic as GIK remains in the pit lane, Jess. This is an incredibly long stop for car 47. They're now back out on track. You're on board, meanwhile, with Vigo, who have got a full view of Bolton. Greater Manchester, I should be saying. We still need to get used to that. Greater Manchester leading only now by 0.5 seconds, cutting onto the grass, taking full advantage of that and getting just a little dicey with track limits. Still within the realms of allowability, and diving into the pits at the very last moment go Bolton. That is the race leaders, and they've been leading from the start. Bolton, they are into the pits, handing the lead to Vigo with 15 laps completed. Vigo now onto their 16th lap, 9 minutes on the clock. And what is this going to mean then for the University of Greater Manchester? Let's see how long they take in the pits then. They reverse, they've overshot their pit box already, so that's going to play disaster for them. A very short stop, a very quick stop, and they're back out on track. Is that a splash and dash, Jess? Surely that's not long enough to change tyres.
I think it was just fuel. I don't know. Surely someone in the team will be able to confirm that. But you can see Southampton is having a battle with Coventry and going off the track to do so. And Glasgow's not that far behind. But with more people stopping, is that going to give people like Vigo, Southampton and Coventry a bit of a worry? Are they going to think about pitting? Hull alumni has come in to the pits. Luckily, they didn't overshot their box. We've got Delt, who is in the pits and coming out. York B as well coming out. You can see Queen Mary on your screens. They will probably get past quite a few teams there in the process. So will we see Vigo, Southampton and Coventry come in? Well, they're going to have to, because otherwise I don't think they're going to make it. They're just going to struggle. And hopefully they're not going to do the same with what we saw Dylan Warren do last round by having so many punches. There's no tomorrow. I don't know how he won that race, because he's a superhuman. But seeing side-by-side action.
Yes, we are indeed, Jess. This is really interesting now. I think this race, more than any other, is going to come down to strategy just as much as the wheel-to-wheel racing. And we have seen some fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing. And here are your race leaders, followed by Southampton, Coventry, Glasgow and Surrey. The top 5 all simultaneously into the pits. Many of them overshooting their pit box, and they can't get into the pit box properly. And this is going to prove disastrous for Vigo. They can't find their pit box, Jess.
that is absolutely costly, and that is going to allow some other teams that are just pitted before them to gain some time. They can't afford that.
Look at this. Bolton, Greater Manchester, they have played an absolute blinder here. They pitted a lap earlier, and this is paying off like payday. This has come through incredibly well for the team from Greater Manchester. 4 seconds ahead of their closest rival, Southampton, who remain on track. Vigo, and a disastrous pit stop for them, struggling to find their pit box, delaying getting back out on track, and as a result, they're relegated down into 9th as they try to go through on Bizkaia. Cleanly so, no problem for them perhaps, but no, Bizkaia launched back through for a defence at the last minute, going well onto the apex there as they try and close off Vigo. Surely they can't say anything here, but no, they do. This is incredibly exciting stuff, and Aberdeen are right into the mix as well. Luke Chapman for Aberdeen getting into it with, of course, bumping and swapping paint there between Bizkaia and, of course, Aberdeen. Vigo going away and saying, you guys can swabble, I'm out of here. Vigo going away into 8th. Aberdeen pushing Bizkaia down into 9th. Incredibly exciting stuff, but Vigo will have no time for this at all because they were challenging for the lead moments ago, and now they're down into 8th. An absolute blinder of a strategy call from Greater Manchester, and that's put them well clear of any other competition. 4.5 seconds, Jess, near enough, between Southampton and Greater Manchester. This is an incredible strategy call. It just goes to show how important this is, though. It's not just a case of wheel-to-wheel action. The strategy calls, the pit stops, the timings of these are just as key.
Guys, I'm going to interject there because I don't think that actually had much to do with the strategy, and that was more so Vigo completely screwing up their pit stop and taking 4 attempts to try and get into the box. There's one thing having a bad strategy, but when you lose 24 seconds, that's not strategy. That's a driver error, I'm afraid.
That's a mistake.
I had no idea. I didn't know it had taken that long. An Exeter B team, they're in the pits, and clearly they've found their pit box and they're well away again. That was not 24 seconds. Exeter showing how it ought to be done. Vigo will be kicking themselves. They were challenging for the race win, and now they're down in 7th with 5 minutes on the clock. And I don't think they're going to make it up, Jess. They've got 24 seconds to close up on the race leaders. I just don't think that's a gap that's surmountable.
No, I don't think so, which is a shame because this was a track where they did so well when we raced here in 2024, Giles, which was quite a long time. So this is going to be, I think, tense for them. There's going to be points that could be lost. They're going to see what they could do in race 2. Meanwhile, we've got Hertfordshire 18 fighting with the FS UK champions, Bizkaia, who is looking to cement themselves in the sim racing scene, doing a brilliant job, I have to say, in this race. Really good position thus far. I wonder again what they're going to do in race 2. That was interesting.
They're getting quite grumpy. Hertfordshire flashing their lights, trying to get through on Bizkaia. They've got no time to waste. There's 4 minutes left. How many places can they close up? Because Aberdeen are also in view as well. If Hertfordshire really put their foot down. I've also noticed it's very clearly not 11 p.m. out on this circuit unless it's sunshine all the time in Virginia, which I don't think is the case. So sweeping to the inside of Bizkaia, our Hertfordshire's A-team lunging down on the inside. Who's going to break first? Into turn 1 is the question. Here it comes, and you go past the pit exit. The corner beckons. They're side by side. Hertfordshire clearly have the heavier right foot, and they just about managed to get ahead of Bizkaia into the turn, and that's amazing. A fantastic result then for Bizkaia as they closed. Fantastic result for Hertfordshire's A-team as they closed down Bizkaia. It's a lot happening, Jess. And this is an impeccable result for the A-team from Hertfordshire. I know Robbie will be watching from the airport. He's had to pack his suitcase this afternoon or sending us content for the FS News. So big shout out to Robbie, who'll be watching on with delight as Hertfordshire's A-team secure a position in the top 10. And here's the back end of Aberdeen for them with pressure behind them from Bizkaia. What's going to happen here then? Aberdeen, the debut from Luke Chapman, and he's got a massive contention here for this position. They touch, and they really do touch, swapping paint and almost sending Aberdeen off the track there. A Hertfordshire's A-team. Aberdeen almost swamped by these two cars. Bizkaia going through on Hertfordshire as a result of the teams duking out. Hertfordshire retaking the position back up into 9th. Aberdeen sweating considerably, I would imagine. And here comes Hertfordshire trying to get through again and get away from Bizkaia, who are back on the charge. And this is an incredibly tight battle for 8th. This isn't the battle for 9th. This is the battle for 8th. Aberdeen under pressure from 2 immensely well-driven cars here. And they come into the start-finish straight to complete their 20th lap. 2 minutes on the clock. Side by side are Hertfordshire and Aberdeen. Vizcaya holding back, wondering whether the two may come together and they can capitalise. You can get a great view then on board with Vizcaya of the battle then between Hertfordshire and Aberdeen. Hertfordshire going around on the outside, sending it and braking later, but Aberdeen have got the inside line here. But that is Hertfordshire up into 8th position, out-braking Aberdeen round the outside of the first corner. An impeccable bit of driving there from the team from Hertfordshire. A great drive nonetheless, though, from Aberdeen, who've got a driver making their debut. I say that and I've just cursed them. I'm so sorry, Aberdeen. I'm so sorry. It went sideways for them. They lost it a bit. They have recovered and they're now down in 10th. Vizcaya going away with Hertfordshire, and that means that Aberdeen will round out the top 10 with 1 minute 15 on the clock. Meanwhile, here's Hong Kong Polytechnic. They've got Sheffield Hallam behind them with a gap of approximately 0.8 seconds. Meanwhile, University of Leicester, contenders in our minds, but unfortunately they're down in 24th at the moment with Heriot Watt and Hong Kong Polytechnic A team behind them. Hong Kong Polytechnic B team is ahead of Sheffield Hallam, if you're keeping up with what team names I'm using here. Queen Mary, another team we were expecting to see towards the front of the pack. They're down in 15th, shockingly. And I must say, another team that we weren't expecting to see in the position they're in is Dylan Warren from York A. They are down in 6th position there for Dylan Warren. Monty Sister reminding everyone to win. Yes, exactly, Jess. Really quite astounding. Meanwhile, Monty's sister reminding everyone to get their flu shots and drink some Lemsip this winter. It's almost like a... So,
yes, do it.
Thank you.
We're providing a public service here as well as entertainment. Meanwhile, Bolton leading and have done from lights out. An impeccable drive from them. Well handled, pitted impeccably. There were some very hairy moments between themselves and Vigo, but they have come out on top. The clock has run out. This will indeed be the last lap. Lap 22. The final lap then for Bolton. Aberdeen, meanwhile, it looked to me like, yes, Aberdeen have gone down into 12th. The Montfort and UCLM have both gone through on Aberdeen. Luke Chapman have been doing so well. The car beginning to lose grip as the tyres wear away. And as you can see, the impact that's had on the rookie there, Luke Chapman, who qualified in 9th and has been duking out with some of the real big names in the Sim Racing Series. But all eyes right now fall to the University of Greater Manchester as they cross the line to take victory in round 2 of the Formula Student Sim Racing Series. The first race is over, and that is Greater Manchester who take the checkered flag. Southampton coming across the line in 2nd. Commentary's A team in 3rd. University of Glasgow's A team with Nev Cohen back behind the wheel for them in 4th. And Surrey will round out your top 5.
Absolutely impeccable, Giles. I really enjoyed that one. It was a mixture of strategy, battles, and we just saw Vigo doing a little bit of a spin there. A little bit of a flips going on in the background, but there we go. But that was something I really enjoyed.
I've got to say, Jess, just a moment, York B are flashing up as a DNF. Jim McMahon also commenting, our driver got kicked. York B is a DNF at the very last minute. Something for the stewards to inquire about later on. Rather shocking result there.
That is a shock as well, yes. They're finishing behind Hong Kong Polytechnic, it looks like, as well. But of course, we will look at it for the stewards' protest afterwards as well. So if anything has gone wrong there, then that'll probably be the case there.
I also just need to say something. Rory, I love you. Thank you. I can say Bolton rather than Greater Manchester, which just makes my life and my tongue so much easier.
Aww.
So thank you very much indeed.
You
for that
guys
one.
are lovely.
Really appreciate that, Greater Manchester, or as we will now call them again, Bolton, because it's just easy. It's one word rather than two. When you're going wheel to wheel, as Bolton were with Vigo there, it's so much easier to say one word rather than two. So thank you very much to them for that one. UCLM so close at the end, says McQueen. Yes, a lot of love for UCLM on the chat tonight. That's great to see, isn't it? That was a lot, Jess. There was a lot going on there.
And I was questioning some people's strategies by pitting early. It seemed to me pitting later was the right strategy in our server, at least in server 1, because some teams were able to do a bit of a slash and dash, which worked quite well for them as well. But there were some people that tried to brave it with no stop. That didn't work, like Aberdeen, and they dropped further back to the back of the grid. But I think, Giles, we got some special videos to play, haven't we?
We do indeed. We've got the inaugural episode of Formula Student News to come in just a moment. But first, we've got the interview with the winner of that round. Whilst we get them, a team that sent us a rather nice video is a team that you saw going wheel to wheel there in that race, University of Hertfordshire. And they've sent us this rather fantastic VT. Roll the VT!
Woo!
Hello everyone, we are JJRacing, and today I'm going to show you around the lab and what it takes to build a Formula Student race car.
What's the best part of being a Formula student?
I mean, the friends you make, the late nights, the aha moments, all those times to see a race car come together, it's fantastic.
What do you think is the toughest part?
Time. Trying to manage that and being able to do everything, it's tricky.
What's on your right?
This is our simulation suite. This is where our team practices and gets ready for our Formula Student race series.
What do you think makes your team unique?
We have a team with such a wide background, people from all over the world, and the friendships we've made from it and the experience we've had, it's amazing.
Is your team only with engineers?
No, we've got people from all backgrounds. I mean, we're people in graphics design, law, business. We need people from all places of the uni to make this team function.
What's the next stop?
Next stop, the Automotive Lab. Okay, so welcome to the Automotive Lab, everyone. Over here on my right, we've got Automotive Center, which includes some cater rooms, our old car UH22. There's UH28. Hey Becca, what's happening in the electronics department?
We're trying to achieve a car that runs without any fault. That entails us with PCB design, HV work, and programming.
Hope to see the car running. I'm sure we're going to do some great things. What's happening on behind us? So, Cedric, how's it going? Race car. What's going on currently? What are you guys trying to do?
We are trying to constrain the TSAC. There's been some new rules for this year that we're trying to work around. So extended the chassis, and now we're trying to figure out how to stop our lump of battery from moving around pretty much.
That's a fair statement. I mean, and you're a team lead this year. How's it been so far?
It's been good. Hectic. But we've inherited, I think, a really strong team, a strong car. So just have to execute.
Jan, what's going on? On our right, we have Jan. He's our technical director for the year. He doesn't like cameras, as you can tell. But he's an absolute laugh in the lab and a great personality. No comment? Oh gosh, look who's here. Neban! So what's your role for this year and what are you trying to do?
I'm the head of vehicle performance this year. My role is more managing the VD department together with Aero, make sure everything comes together, generating test plans like I'm doing now, which I'm working on. Hopefully we should be out testing very soon. Everyone's looking forward to that. So yeah.
You can see the lab's very busy. UH28 still standing strong, and we're confident that we can achieve some great things with it. On to the next room. Okay, so here we are, the machine shop. Come check it out. As you can see, we're still moving into the new building, so there's a few things that we're trying to do, but we have a lot of new fancy tools on our right and on our left. Hi Mike, how are you?
I'm okay.
Just want to know how much we actually bother you.
You don't at all. We like FS Racing to be pride of the university, so we enjoy watching you do your thing.
I mean, I'm looking around and we've got some lovely equipment, but we also have some lovely things made on my right here. What do we have here?
Here we have the upright for the front of the car, which is a CNC part. We also have the clevis for the suspension on the car, and we have one of these, which I have absolutely no idea what that does, but we do make it for you.
In most cases, usually what we do is we come in with our technical drawings. We say, hey, we need to make this, and you're the guys that say if we can do it or not.
We say whether it's possible. If it's possible, we'll make it.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
No
Thank
worries.
you. This year's management structure really focuses around people. You know, we've got over 40 members, and it's a lot to manage.
So what's the team's priority this year?
Definitely knowledge transfer. We need to make sure that future members know what they're doing and can approach any engineering task to be their best self for the future of UH Racing. But we hope you have a good picture of who we are, what we're doing. Thank you for watching our video, and we can't wait to see you at FSUK 2026.
Well, if you enjoyed that, then there's plenty more like it on the way in the Formula Student News, so do stay tuned. Before all of that, though, may I present to you your Race 1 winners for Round 2 tonight. Big congratulations to, I mean, hey, I know they're officially Greater Manchester. We're going to keep calling them Bolton. Big up. Congratulations. A fantastic result there. How are you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Mitch, the team captain of NCME Racing at the University of Greater Manchester, and it's only my third ever race in the Sim Series, so I'll take that.
I'd take that to the bank. That was fantastic. Where did that come from?
We put a lot of effort into this round, as we always do, but we had a bit of quiet confidence. We knew from a couple of years ago that we're strong in the more unusual, slower type cars. That's what I've raced sort of in real life, so I knew that I personally could extract a bit more out of this than other rounds, so that's why I'm driving rather than our regular stars. So yeah, we were pretty confident going into this.
So we've been discussing here in the commentary box, flying blind as we often do, as to the various strategies that each team was taking. Now, you pitted arguably in the middle of the pack. You didn't pit early like some of the other teams, but there was a huge, great swathe of cars that headed into the pit lane a lap later than you, and that seemed to pay off. You put a significant amount of distance between yourself and the rest of the field as a result of that. What was the decision that led you? What was the thought process that led you to that decision to come in a lap earlier than most of the other contenders in the top 10?
It was an absolute sensational call by the engineers. The backroom were on it. We had a couple of plans going in. We knew what our options were, and we kept an eye on it, and they found a perfect track position for me, and then I ruined it by missing my pit box. But they found a lovely clear air, and all credit to my race engineer Katie. She did a great job making that call, like sticking with it, and yeah, it was perfect for us really. I just ruined it a bit by overshooting my box, but then we avoided the crowded pit lane on the next lap. We knew everyone was going to pit at the end of the fuel stint, so we left our options.
You say you ruined it. I would just say at some point you might want to rewind the stream and have a look at your competitors.
Yeah, Vigo lost over 20 seconds. It took them 4 attempts to hit their box. So compared to other ones we were looking at, yours was one of damage limitation. Let's put it that way. No one was hitting their boxes at all.
Yeah, there's always room for improvement though, isn't there? So we'll work on that for future.
So could you remind us of the name of your race engineer?
Katie.
Katie, big up to Katie. Katie's someone that I'd like to have a chat with at some point, because I'm always fascinated by what goes on the other side of the screen when you're not in the cockpit.
Katie, come in. Come on.
Oh, go on, get Katie now. Go on.
Come on, Katie. You won this race. Get in.
It just shows it's not just a driver. There's plenty of teams that have engineers to help their drivers out. It is Formula Student, and that's how they win races. So hello, Katie. How do you feel about this one with Mitch winning that race?
You're gonna have to get a lot closer to wherever your microphone is. I should just point out.
Go on.
The team, we've put in all the work for it, so it's great to see the result that we've got.
So what sort of work goes into it, and how are you? Because obviously we can see what Mitch is doing because Mitch is driving in front of us, but we can't see what's going on in terms of the race engineer and what they're doing and what they're looking at. So for instance, in your case, Mitch was talking about the fact that you found a perfect moment to head into the pits, found clear air for them to get back out on track in. How did you get to that point? Because this is the really interesting stuff about the sim racing, is that we're not just here to mess about and play a glorified Mario Kart. This is an opportunity without the expenditure that would be required for real life on-track racing to be able to train the next generation of motorsport engineers into these sort of decisions by presenting them with cases literally live in front of us that we're commenting on. So what was it like from your perspective? What sort of stuff was going on in your area?
Well, there was a lot of looking at the cars ahead and the cars behind mainly, because
someone was in the lead.
But yeah, it was mainly trying to figure out where to pit them and how far back, and which cars took the Joker, so we knew they'd have to pit anyway. So it was kind of just figuring out, and a lot of talking and debating whether to pit that lap or the next one, but pitting the lap before really helped.
So are you sat next to Mitch in the sim rig and you're talking to him the entire time, or how do you communicate?
We communicate through the headset. So Mitch is in a separate room to us, and we have a little kind of stand where 4 of us sit and work out the plan for the race.
It's a standard pit perch, really, just in a separate room with a window through. And that's the benefit that we have over a lot of other teams, that we're all here competing together. So whereas a lot of other teams will compete from home, Tom's currently downstairs now getting ready for his race coming up next. So we're together. So we have that benefit of working as a real team, which means our engineers are in direct contact with us. As soon as I get out from practice qualifying, straight away we're to work. I put it on pole, but I wasn't happy, and we fixed a few things going into the race. So we have that benefit over a lot of other teams. I'm really happy that we can run it in such a professional
Love
manner.
it.
I'm really looking forward to the video now that Rory produces for next month, because everything they're talking about, I got to watch this a couple of weeks ago when you guys were preparing for this race, and I was so impressed with the amount of preparation and how comparable it is to real racing. You were treating it as if you were actually at a proper circuit with your notebooks, the telemetry, the intercoms with the drivers. It was fantastic to watch you guys prepare for this, and evidently you put the effort in and got the rewards tonight, and fingers crossed we see similar again in the second race. But yeah, everything you guys are talking about, I can't wait to share this with the audience at the next round when we hopefully get that video, because yeah, Giles, Jess, it's just phenomenal the amount of work that they put into this.
I think the bar in terms of approach has just been raised here. I know, I don't think Bolton are alone in their approach, but I know they're not every team, as you were saying there, Mitch, approaches it like this. I think some teams do, not everyone. Some do the whole from home setup. I do think that to get the best results in the series, an approach like these guys are taking here is clearly the way to go. And you may not have an eSports racer as your driver, but you can overcome that by having the right team around you and making the right strategic calls. And I think this goes to show that the sim racing series is teaching racecraft to the next generation of automotive engineers, and I think it's really exciting, and massive congratulations to you for your first win of the season, and in such fantastic style. Big up.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty guys, I think it's time for a little bit of FS news, don't you?
Yes, it is time to do the Formula Student News. It's my favourite bit of the evening. And you might be thinking, but Giles, Jess, Monty, what is the Formula Student News? Well, it's our way of making sure that this is always about you. What we like to do is we ask you to submit videos that are between typically 1 and 3 minutes, talking to us about your teams, what you're up to, what you've been working on, whether that's newsletters. Leicester have put us onto the mailing list for their newsletter, and we read that out every time. Additionally, we will also talk to teams who've got videos sent to us. It's great fun, and it makes sure that we've got the focus on you and your Formula Student story. Plenty of teams have got in touch from around the world already for the first Formula Student News of the season. So I'm just going to say, roll VT.
Melbourne, how you doing?
Ethan, hello.
Hi, mate.
Media. Wow.
What are you working on?
Well, at the minute, I'm doing a question query
No
for
way.
our catch can to see what we want, because I'm also doing our cooling stuff.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of airflow we need and what kind of mass flow we need in order to keep our new car cool under all conditions.
Cool, so you're working on the cooling side of things, yeah? The radiator and stuff.
You know your stuff.
Yeah, can you tell me more about it?
Liquid cooled.
Liquid cooled,
We're doing
okay.
pods, hopefully.
Is there any props that you can? Is there any props that you can show me?
Oh wow! You can see
Oh,
the
wha-
core from
so convenient. Wow.
Good one, that.
Thanks, buddy.
That one in draft.
Fantastic stuff.
I loved it.
I'm
That was
loving-
Turkey that you just heard that.
It's the clapper, the clapper with the ladders as well. You know, very, very ingenious guys. So yeah, it's been great to see them get involved in the sim racing this year, and it really is an international contest now, isn't it?
Absolutely. Those guys are Selçuk University Conrul Racing Team from Turkey. A bit of Googling has reliably informed me. So I also think they're looking for sponsorships. If you fancy supporting a Formula Student team around the world, it's an international competition, you could have your logo on the side of a car in Turkey, then get in touch with them. They're looking for sponsorship.
Yes, absolutely. But they weren't the only teams to submit some videos, were they? There were some
No,
other ones,
they
but
really weren't.
but they were kind of more pictures and TikTok. So I thought we could kind of look at these ones together, and
Yes.
there was sort of going on. Exeter, the People's Champions, as we've always called them, they've given us quite a bit of content. It was their Christmas dinner. But actually, first things first, they showed us a game which two of their members were playing. So for the benefit of everyone else, let's put that on. See what you guys think.
12-volt lithium battery.
Can you knock it against a table?
Yeah.
Okay. Your question?
What was it you have again?
A shock absorber.
Oh.
It just muted us.
Can you hit it on the edge?
No, I haven't muted me.
Okay.
Put it to both terminals.
No, Daniel, we're not electrocuting publicity sec.
Okay, you roll it around.
Yeah. Can you push it in from both sides?
I'm not strong enough for that.
Take-
Yeah.
Okay.
Final question, Daniel.
One each.
Can you knock it? Knock into it?
I already did that. What, with my hand?
Yeah. Your turn.
Oh, can you drop it from about 12 centimeters?
Okay. Right, Daniel, what do you think that is?
12-volt battery or the lithium battery.
Libby, do you think Daniel has a spring?
Are you saying it's like the ones? Oh,
In the car.
yeah. But it's not from the car.
It's one of these, is what
Yeah.
Daniel's saying.
But it's a spare one, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with. Yeah, you do have that.
Show?
Safety, there are not electrocuting team members. Meanwhile, we are now live. We did mute it, or at least some of the microphones were muted, but apparently not all of them.
Yeah, not all
Cough,
of them.
cough, Monty.
It is going to be one of those evenings, guys. Sorry, I have
Good
got a
lad.
flu brain. I can see some people asking, am I high? No, I'm not. I woke up this morning with a raw throat, can't stop sneezing, got a temperature. Yeah, no, this is flu, which has now hit me, so I give up.
Dedication to Monty for still doing this broadcast where really he should be in bed. Honestly, if I was in your position, I would have called it quits and be in bed. So thank you very much, Monty. That was the
you're most
University of Exeter's video.
Nothing that
I
Lemsip
really
can't
enjoyed
stop,
that
Jess,
one.
by the way. Nothing that Lemsip can't stop, so cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Former Student Sim Racing, powered by Williams Sim Racing, HighViz Media, Emperor Servers, and Lemsip. Lemsip, if you're out there and you fancy some sponsorship, do let us know, because I've got a funny feeling a lot of undergraduate degrees have also been sponsored by Lemsip this time of year.
Yes, most certainly.
Absolutely fantastic stuff from Exeter Racing.
That wasn't their only content, though, was it, Giles?
No, it wasn't indeed. They've actually sent us, well, this comes from Will, their technical director. He sent us an email with several images. He said, hello, you two. Big progress. Just waiting on roll hoops, jig, and then all the other steel is done. New exhaust headers have been 3D printed. AIP has been made. The honeycomb delivered, now to test. Got some new carbon steering columns made. Oh, and Christmas dinner. Here's Jeremiah slowly being stripped by the rest of his team. And apparently they're also redesigning the radiator mounts. But for your viewing pleasure, here's Jeremiah from Exeter Racing being assaulted by the rest of his team at their team Christmas dinner.
Glorious, absolutely glorious. It looks like they had a lot of fun there. Curious to know whereabouts they went for that. I don't recognise the venue, but...
Where was our invite, most to the point?
Yes, they always promise us that roast dinner, don't they? But we still haven't had
I've
it yet,
often
guys.
I've often referred to them as the Hesketh of Formula Student, because they all rock up in Gilets and Land Rovers, and you know.
And then we're just random clothes.
Everyone's called Millie and Tilly and Alexander, and you know, names like that.
I mean, this is a Russell Group university, so you know, not to stereotype, but we're stereotyped, so you know, it's all fine.
Actually, if anybody from Exeter is still in Exeter on Thursday, I'm down in Exeter for a carol concert at Exeter Cathedral. So let me know if you're about for a pint. Meanwhile, great stuff there from Exeter, and again, not the only team who submitted some fun stuff.
Well, we
Let's
say
have a look
team.
at which one.
We
We'll
say
say
team.
he's part of our team.
He's
part of
yes,
our team.
he's part of our team
Because,
now. He was part of the students, but now he's on our side. But the student hasn't left him yet, really, has it, Giles?
Well, no, exactly. Nor has his hair.
Nor has his hair. So here's our very own James having a shot at cooking some marshmallows with his blowtorch. Now, quite wisely, guys, quite wisely, he has gone outside for this, so he's not doing it indoors. So if you're getting any inspiration from this, do as he's doing and stand outside so you mitigate any fire risk. But look at that, within 20 seconds.
Brilliant.
Within
It's still on
20
fire and he's
That's
gonna blow it out.
amazing.
My only concern there is I'm not sure whether Udis are flammable or not.
I don't think so. Oh, by the way, someone has put in the chat. It was Bill's restaurant that the extra lot went to.
It was.
I've been there
Bill's,
before.
Right.
I've been there before in another city. It was brilliant.
I mean, Bill's is a good place to go for brunch. Not gonna lie.
I like Bill, but then again, I would do. He's my dad. Anyway.
Shout out to Bill Cosgrove. Hopefully you're on here tonight, sir.
I think he's laid up in bed like you should be because he's come down with the same flu that you've got, mate.
Chicken soup and orange juice.
I'm like, I'm gonna come down with it now. But anyway,
You're okay, Jess. I've got my antivirus on, Jess, so you're fine. You're not going to get anything from me.
Good.
Look, Scottish coming here with the comment, why was there a video of James being a fire hazard? Because I saw it on his TikTok and I thought, you know what, I'll have that. Brilliant stuff. And if you want to be part of this, don't forget that you too can be a part of the Formula Student News. You can give us good news and it doesn't have to be a Dacia Sandero. Just get in touch with myself and Monty via Discord and the email address. Basically, we need you to retransfer us memes, newsletters, video updates, especially as this car begins to be built. Show us off your team. I know Bolton are working on a video touring us around their sim racing facility, or what Hertfordshire did earlier. Anything like that, we really do want to see it. Just please make sure it's between 1 minute and 3 minutes. 5 minutes of the push. Please don't have any copyrighted material in it. No copyrighted audio. We can't have Sabrina Carpenter as much as we'd love to. And additionally, if you are recording in vertical, please do us a favor and put some sort of horizontal background as Hertfordshire did earlier. We should also say, not only can you be a part of the Formula Student News, you can be part of the Formula Student podcast as well. Make sure you scan that QR code. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and show some love to the Formula Student online series. It's well worth a watch and keeps Formula Student in the conversation in the downtime between races. Although, having said that, this weekend, Formula Student Australasia underway. Big up to ECU. Flying the flag for internal combustion out there in competition with various universities from Australia and Asia. Plenty more action still to come, so do please stay with us. Like I said, you can be part of the online podcast. Visit universities, Exeter and Hertfordshire spring to mind. We've also done some stuff with Cardiff. We could do some stuff with you if you fancied it. Drop us a line. The best thing to do is to message FS Online 101 on Instagram. Drop us a line there. That will get fed back to the powers that be, the producers with the big envelopes and the white lab coats. And you know, you can get in touch with us and we may be able to come up to your university, tour around, see what you do with your Formula Student team and get your Formula Student team's name, image, brand out there. We've been to a number of Formula One teams as well. We've been to Aston Martin Aramco Formula One team. We've been to the Williams Formula One team. We've also been to Mercedes HPP, so Mercedes High Performance Powertrain. They manufacture the power units that are used in the back of several teams, including championship winners McLaren. So we do get about a bit, and if you want us to come and see you, then by all means. Meanwhile, but bad luck with the pit, but what a great race from UCLM. I must say, gutting for them, to be completely honest, because they were another team that were looking on track for really great results that were hindered by a lot of teams struggling to find the pit box. Another one of those teams being Vigo, who took 24 seconds to find that. I do appreciate we might be rubbing salt into the wound by quoting that time every single instance we bring it up, but such is the commentary box job. Meanwhile, here are the preliminary results then, Monty. Do you want to talk us through these?
Yeah, well, yes, why not? The one with the knackered voice. Thank you, Giles. Yeah, so
Sorry.
as you can see on the screen, guys, so got both the servers here. So just a quick recap of server 1. So provisionally, University of Greater Manchester, NCME Racing, are your winners, with Southampton second and Coventry A taking their first ever podium in 3rd position there. Nev Cohen return after a long time away in 4th position there, with Surtees in 5th. I told you, every time they turn up, they're always in the top 10. They never cease to amaze me, these guys. Dylan Warren, an uncharacteristic 6th position for York A. Vigo, what might have been for them, 7th position after battling for the lead and losing over 20 seconds in the pits from missing their box several times. Hertfordshire A in 8th, Biscaya in 9th, and De Montfort rounding out the top 10. With UCLM, Aberdeen, they were doing so well for such a while, Mr. Chapman in his debut race, but alas, seemed to have run out of steam by the end there. Exeter's B team, that was a surprise actually to see them doing so well, I thought.
I wasn't expecting to see a B team ahead of the A team and the only representative of said team in the top server. So fair play to Bonnet. Also a great name for a driver, Bonnet. I love that. It's what, you know, if you're watching in America, that's what the hood should be called. It's called a bonnet. We invented the language. It's ours. Meanwhile.
Oh God, Giles. We're not trying to make new enemies here, you know.
Meanwhile, who was 14th, Monty?
I can never remember their name. Team 47. Jess, have you got your entry list to hand, per chance?
I will have a look now for you. 47, did you say, Monty?
Yes, please.
Apologies if I pronounce this wrong, by the way. Ghulam Izzat Khan, Institute of Engineering Sciences and Technology in Pakistan.
Fantastic. Thank you for confirming
what a
that.
result for them.
Yes, I told you guys it is an international series this year. We've got York Alumni in 15th, Queen Mary Championship leaders in 16th.
That was a big shock.
Delft. Now, this is interesting. It's not the same driver as it was last time, so this is great to see that it's not just a one-drive entry this time, but alas, only 17th in the first race, but still well done on your debut attempt there. Hull's alumni team in 18th, and then we've got Hertfordshire B in 19th, Queen's University Belfast in 20th, Hong Kong Polytechnic B team in 21st, Sheffield Hallam already with a penalty. That means that they've triggered the basically our servers have a track limit abuse system in place, and if you go over the track limits too many times, then it will give you a 3-second penalty for, I believe it's every 3 times you do it. So they've already been given a penalty before we've even had to implement our own. Naughty people. Heriot Watt in 23rd, University of Leicester last time winners, only in 24th. They will be crying about that, I'm sure. York B, they DNF'd right at the end, so that was 25th for them. And Hong Kong Polytechnic's A team, where we saw them getting lost and on the wrong side of the barriers, they round out the field. Who was our highest climber? Hertfordshire A, making up 17 places.
Wow.
So that was an impressive drive from them for sure. Now, on to the second server, guys. Interesting to know what you thought of the live stream. Let us know of your thoughts in the comments, please.
Apparently, server 2 was crazy, Monty. There was a lot of action, apparently.
This is what I've heard, and I'd expect nothing less from server 2, because that's where all the calamity is, and I'm glad that you guys have now got a broadcast to go and enjoy all of that chaos.
And watch back.
Exactly, but Exeter's A team were the winners there. They must have been kicking themselves that they weren't at the top servers. Ditto actually Hull's A team, and University College of Dublin's normal big names in the bottom server. So that is a surprise. We've got Munster's A team in 4th. Strathclyde, there's another big name, only in 5th. 57. That's Vermilion Racing, our Danish counterparts who came runners-up in Formula Student.
Great result from them. Their best result of the season, Monty.
Agreed. Yes, it has been indeed. So well done, guys. We've got UE, University of West England, in 7th. Manchester. Welcome back, guys. Haven't seen you for a while. So they're in 8th
Love you, Manchester.
position.
Thank you for giving us Oasis.
Yes, exactly. We've got... I will never forgive you for taking over my radio waves in Jersey, Giles, with that. So yeah, anyway, so we've got Munster's B team in 9th. In 10th position, we have Oakland's College of Hertfordshire. This is the 6th form team I was telling you guys about. So great to see.
Oh, yes, you
great
were.
to see you guys have been able to make it and pre-qualify for this round. And well done on the 10th position. Can't wait to see how your journey progresses over the course of the season as you get up to speed with this weird and wonderful series, which we call the Formula Student Sim Racing Series. Salford in 11th position, Bath in 12th, Kingston in 13th, Victoria in 14th, KON number 56. Jess, going to need your assistance again, please. Which team is that?
Yeah, 56. Hold on, for some reason my TV in my hotel room has decided to switch on, and I'm trying to shut it off. 56 was it's a team I can't pronounce. Select University from Turkey.
The guys we were just watching before the video. Brilliant.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, I
That's
love
good.
that video.
And who is
well
number...
done.
Yes, 10 out of 10 for that one, guys. Who is Team 50?
Team 50 is Islamic University of Technology in Bangladesh.
There I told you guys. See, we've got Pakistan, Bangladesh, we've got Turkey. We have British Columbia as well sign up. I haven't seen them be able to pre-qualify yet. I hope you guys can join us before the season is out, because it would be great to get such international scope from all corners of the globe, even though globes don't have corners. Sorry, Dad. That was some bad maths from me. Please don't punish me. Vienna in 17th. Liverpool in 18th. I don't know what you're laughing about. Your way of pronouncing team names infuriates him, and me for that matter. Anyway, SUSR, that would be Sussex in 19th. Holby in 20th. Cambridge, James was giving them a shout out before, wasn't he? So they were in 21st.
Yes. Commentator's curse.
Yes, it looks like something happened to them because they ended up a lap down in the end. So yeah, something big happened there. 61, who is that, please, Jess?
61 was the University of Beaumont in Lebanon.
Fantastic, thank you. And 55, UMD?
That is Otto von Guericke University Magdeburg in Germany.
Magdeburg, fantastic. See, so we've got lots of European as well in here. And rounding out this race, we had
Strathclyde
B team in 24th. They must have been a bit gutted with that, given that they were in the top server.
Who was biggest climber, Monty?
That's a very good question. It looks like...
I think it's joint.
It's joint. It's Manchester and Bath, both making up 12 positions respectively. So they both had a great race. They both would have got some good points out of that as well. Of course, guys, those who win in the second server will get 60 points. So that's basically half of what you would get in the top server. So
30, you mean?
Say again, sorry.
I thought you'd get 30 points.
You're quite right. 30 points. Sorry. Yes, it's 60 points for a race win. I'm thinking 120 points for the round win if you win both of them. Oh dear.
It's actually if you win both round the server A, Monty. We could tell that
I definitely need my bed
got
at this
brain
point,
fog.
No, I've got everything tonight. Yes, thank you for correcting me. So yes, so the winners of the bottom server have got 30 points, which is half of the amount of what you would win in the top server. So even though you may not see some of these names tonight in the primary stream, you may still see their names turn up in the standings quite high up, because if you win both of the lower servers, as Cardiff found out last year, they were still able to finish 9th overall, even though we didn't see them at all in any of the races.
Absolutely. Some fantastic results then. Meanwhile, some fantastic messages that we've been getting here into the commentary box. If you head over to your DMs, Monty, there's a photograph there that you might want to pull up.
Which we brought up earlier on as well.
as we were saying, this is an international competition with plenty of international teams. But not only do we have international teams, we've got international viewers. And our very own Lammers from Coventry is currently watching us while skiing.
Now look at that.
Let's
Look at that.
go.
I'd love to be out there skiing. It's been years since I went skiing. It's great fun. So I appreciate the commitment to the bit by going skiing, but still maintaining your eyes on the Formula Student Sim Racing series. I mean, can you imagine being on one of those little ski lifts, going up with your legs dangling down, your phone in front of you, watching Dylan Warren duke out with someone? Like
my God.
That's peak Christmas. Merry Christmas, by the way, we should say.
And happy holidays as well for all the people that don't celebrate Christmas.
And a happy new year as well, because this will be the last time we see you in 2025. So yes, please keep your messages coming in. Where are you watching from and who are you supporting? Fernando Martinez says, I'm such a big Lewis Goombridge supporter. I imagine we'll be seeing something of Lewis later on. Meanwhile, I should also say, Monty, rather interestingly, we were talking on the Formula Student Online podcast when we were at Aston Martin, looking ahead to the rest of the season, about a certain team being given special dispensation to be entered in from round 2 onwards.
Jason, they're not here.
I've noticed, yes, Jess, they're not here. Oxford Brooks are absent, Monty.
I did put it in as a caveat whilst we were speaking about this, because we did give them the option since they inquired, but they hadn't responded to us at the time of when we did that podcast, and alas, we never heard back from them either. If anyone from Brooks is out there, we would love to see you guys as part of this. It seems to be great fun. Some of the guys that were speaking to us at Learn to Win were absolutely keen for it, and we would love as well to see what you guys could pick up in the engineering challenges.
Would be great.
I think they'll do quite well in that.
I reckon so.
It'd be great to see them back. It really would. Additionally, we've also had GTV Archangel point out that where Lammers is, it looks like a perfect spot for flunky ball. Yes, it does. I tell you the fun story about flunky ball. I once refereed a match of flunky ball the evening before I was due to make my commentary debut, and I nearly lost my voice from shouting at people across the campsite at Silverstone. So big up the flunky ball. Meanwhile, Exeter guys, if you're watching, let me know how you guys do this. How you guys do your decoupled suspension. So that's Fernando Martinez putting a call out to Exeter, saying, Exeter guys, if you're watching, let me know how you guys do your decoupled suspension. Thanks, 2 love hearts. So hey, it's all a spirit of collaboration and camaraderie at Formula Student. So Exeter, people are interested in your suspension.
That's good, isn't it?
Very good. Meanwhile, elsewhere, we've got this loading up now for the second race of the evening. Going to be fantastic stuff. I really am looking forward to this because it's going to be a sprint race. And what we saw earlier was some great wheel-to-wheel action, and then teams realised, hang on a minute, I've got to pit at some point. You're not going to have that concern here. It's going to be foot to the floor, mash it into the ground, ruin your tyres, and just send it. And this is going to be great to watch. This is going to be chef's kiss, honestly. Jess, predictions then for this second race?
Oh, I think Vigo is going to have redemption in the second race and potentially win this one. They got to, because otherwise they'll have a disappointing evening. But don't forget, we got teams that are on Jokers as well, and Vigo is one of them. So, yeah, that's my call for the win tonight.
The good news is for Vigo in this race, they don't need to worry about where their pit box is.
That is true, unless they get damage, of course.
Oh, that too. Vigo, keep out of the way of people and then descend it. It'll be good stuff. We're moments away from lining up on the grid then. Monty, I'm just going to throw to you very briefly. I appreciate how the flu is affecting you, but just momentarily, your calls for this race, please.
I don't actually want to guess at this point because I guess Vigo.
After what happened last time.
I guessed Vigo, and I was nearly right until they screwed up that pit stop. But honestly, at this point, it could be anyone's. I think it's going to be an absolute lottery. Sorry, I'm just moving around freely because I've been told by some of the drivers in the last race that they saw Jeremy Clarkson. Oh my God! Yes! How did we miss this?
Oh, look, it's Top Gear!
Hey. It's a Stig as well.
Amazing.
Wow,
That's
what a
fantastic.
sight. What a sight. What's this? So this must be turn 3. Right, so yeah, so they're trying to... That's probably why they were falling off. That's why Aberdeen fell off the road then, Giles. They were so busy seeing Jeremy Clarkson over there that they forgot to hit the brakes and use their apex.
Driving past Jeremy Clarkson, you wouldn't get to hit the brakes because how is that a thing? Oh!
Oh, Rob, you have done justice again. I would like to see.
Can we do a bit more of an explore?
Yeah, let's do a bit more of an exploration. Let's see what else
I'd
is
like
going
to know is,
on.
on behalf of
this.
on behalf of Hong Kong Polytechnic, where is the missing bit of barrier that they managed to sneak through by mistake?
Oh yeah, that's right. So they were around here, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
So obviously,
I should also say, for those of you listening on Express Radio right now, this may not be particularly helpful, given the fact that
we got the audio described, guys.
Yeah. So essentially, there's a gap in the fence, and somehow Hong Kong Polytechnic found themselves on the other side of that, and then had to spend the rest of the time doing a special rally stage that put them a lap down in the last race.
Yes, right. So
Tonight on Formula Student.
Yes. So for any teams who find themselves in this situation, they get stuck behind here. It looks like if you drive behind the marshal's post, there is a gap in the wall there. And so if you find yourself being caught out by, I'm assuming it was a glitch and someone didn't feel the need to just turn left and attempt a shortcut here, then yeah, this is how you can get back out and onto the circuit again. Just going back to your question before, I'm so expecting Vigo to do well, but I've just realised that it's Hazelwood, Mr. Hazelwood from Leicester, who was driving for this race. He was the one that won it last time out, guys. So I will be intrigued to see how he gets on compared to Mr. Ward in these MX-5s.
Very, very interesting stuff. We've got GTV Archangel coming in with the iconic quote, "Tonight on Bottom Gear." And Will Davies is explaining in the comments how Exeter's suspension works. So, Fernando, if you're interested, Will from Exeter has replied to you there. On the subject of Exeter, their A team are back up in the top server. Will be moments away now from lining up on the grid and talking you through who's in pole all the way back to 26. 26 cars per server. If your team isn't here, they'll be in server 2. There's a separate stream for that moment on that one, but you can see all the action there nonetheless.
There's a lot of undulation, actually, isn't there?
There really is. The clip for the flip over the wall is in the general chat on Discord, I'm reliably informed. B. Driscoll has let us know that if we want to see the clip for the flip over the wall, it is in the general chat on Discord. We might not have time to show it because I've got a funny feeling we're moments away from lining up on the grid, but that will be available to us either next round, and those of you that are on the Discord, you can catch that now. Here we go then.
We've still got about 4 minutes to go. Still got about 4 minutes to go. So
have we?
Let me have a look.
Oh yeah, it's free.
Let me.
It was free practice.
Yeah,
because we only saw them aftermath, didn't we? We didn't see what happened during it to cause that flip.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
We're rather interested.
So, whoever's made that comment, if you could stick the video in the screenshots channel for me, please, I will try and get that one played.
Ben.
Yes, if you could get
Ben
that.
Driscoll.
Yes, I can see that McScottish has put a print screen in there of the incident, well, the end of the incident. But yes, if there's a video to go
yeah, we want to see the whole of it.
Slap it in the screenshots, and we've still got about 3 minutes to go, so I will try and get that one, because I have no idea which part of Discord you have slapped the chat in, or the video in, I should say.
Yeah, they haven't put anything yet.
It's in the general chat, apparently.
Yeah, that's not going to help me, because there's about 9 million people speaking that at the moment. Oh, no, no, I found it. Right,
Here we go.
okay.
Here we go. Meanwhile, whilst Monty loads that up, lol, my PC failed. What a great username that is. They've commented, go on Exeter, go on Lewis. Lewis driving for Exeter in this round. Here then is a replay of how Hong Kong Polytechnic ended up on the other side of the wall.
No sound with it.
Looks fairly normal. Looks all right.
Balls
okay,
wide.
all of a sudden nearly clipping the Coca-Cola. Gone wide there. Forced off the track. Headed straight on.
Oh, he drove over it.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what?
It's like going on a bear hunt. They can't go over it. They can't go around it. We'll go over it instead.
Okay, so that wasn't a glitch at all. That was just Rubber doing what Rubber does best.
Crikey Moses. I mean, hey, if Rubber was that bouncy, you'd have no crashes. It'd be like Mario Kart.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. My goodness. Well, that was an impressive crash. I have to say.
Thank you very much to Ben for providing that clip to us here in the commentary box. I mean, this is your sim racing series. I mean, you're even helping us with the replay, so thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Lol, my PC failed says, I put a lot of thought into my username. Thank you. Yes, I love it. I really do. So here you can see on the left of your screen there are all the teams that are going to be taking part in this second race this evening in Server 1. Remember, if you want to watch your team and they're not in this, yes, I believe that is going to be Lewis driving for Exeter A. Meanwhile, driving for Surrey is going to be Ben. I think it's going to be Ben Robertson. We had Lewis Mann in earlier. Meanwhile, you can see them lining up on the grid then. Let's go through this, shall we? And yet again, it just goes to show what happens when you put a lot of effort into this. Bolton are taking pole position in second place. We've got Exeter's A team making up for lost ground when they found themselves in the bottom server for race 1.
This is definitely deja vu of the last time we came here. Lowest server for the first race.
Exeter did well there.
Queen Mary Formula student, meanwhile, in third position, making up again for lost ground after a pretty poor showing in race 1. Vigo will be determined to make up for a botched pit stop in race 1 as they take fourth position. Leicester are in fifth position. Again, another team hoping to make up for lost points. Glasgow's A team in sixth. Aberdeen and McScottish there for the sprint race in seventh. Southampton behind them in eighth. GIK. Trying to pronounce that is going to be quite difficult. So if someone wants to give us a phonetic spelling in the group chat, do please feel free. Great to see them again in the top server. For now, GIK, until I can get my tongue around that one. UCLM rounding out the top 10. A lot of love, as ever, for them on the group chat. They're in 10th. In 11th, it's Coventry. A great showing for them up in the top server. Wen are in 12th.
Vienna.
I love that. Hey, look, let's not go there. Vienna. It means nothing to me. Meanwhile, in 13th, Munster 18, they are in 13th. Surrey's team, that is, of course, the team lead, Ben Robertson, driving for them. Unexpectedly, I don't think he was expecting to be driving tonight, but he's there. York A in 15th. Hull A in 16th, and we've also got Surrey. Is that a Surrey? Who is that? Surrey, Sussex.
Nice.
Sussex. A good showing then from Sussex. They find themselves in 17th position. Bizkaya are in 18th. York's Alumni in 19th. Harriet Watt in 20th. York's B team in 21st. Hertfordshire's B team in 22nd. Hong Kong Polytechnic will be hoping they don't flip over the wall this time. They're in 23rd. Meanwhile, Hull are there in 14th. University Hertfordshire's A team have been out-qualified by their B team. They're down in 25th. And Delft are in 26th. Another one-driver entry, because I believe Fleur drove again for them earlier on this evening in race 1.
That is correct. That is correct.
Hertfordshire A, I believe, are on a one-drive entry as well, because I believe O'Sullivan was doing the previous race.
Meanwhile, do you want me to say the driver entries? The driver entries in our serve, what I brought was Queen University Belfast, Hertfordshire A, Bath, Basque Country 2, Hull B, Manchester, Portsmouth A, Hull Alumni, College University, Magdeburg, Hong Kong Polytechnic B, Beaumont, Liverpool and Sheffield.
Fantastic stuff, Jess. Thank you very much. Jojo Scott with a quick good luck McScottish in the chat. Elsewhere, UCLM Montoro, top 10 of the galaxy. So much love for UCLM on the chat. Here we go then, the second race of round 2 of the Formula Student Sim Racing Series 2025-2026, brought to you by the IMEC and Williams Sim Racing. Taking pole for the second time tonight is Bolton, and hoping to make up for lost points are several teams who we know have got immense pedigree in the Formula Student Sim Racing Series. Exeter, Queen Mary, Leicester, Glasgow, Aberdeen and Southampton, all vying for significant points here in the top server and within the top 10. This is going to be an incredibly exciting race, a sprint race, so don't worry about the pit stops, just worry about track position and racecraft. Here we go then, 6 lights on the wall. Here they come, the revs come up, as come up the lights as well. 15 minutes on the clock around Virginia International Raceway. Mazda MX-5s are away, and that's a fantastic start for Bolton and Queen Mary. Exeter caught lacking, and that's Vigo through on Exeter almost immediately off the line. Exeter just didn't get a quick start, and they've been swamped by Queen Mary and Vigo as well. They've been relegated down into 4th. University of Leicester right there with them. Exeter struggling then. GIK, though, up into 1st position, leading ahead of Bolton, who have been relegated down into 2nd in the swamp of the opening corners. Third place goes to Queen Mary as they open up a gap and try and take it to Bolton. Bolton under pressure then from Queen Mary now. Exeter, meanwhile, have gone through have managed to hold on to fourth. They just didn't get a great start. They started in second. They've lost 2 positions there. University of Leicester right there with them, as are Vigo. So they will be determined to get through on the team from Devon. Pulling away, though, not quite, because, of course, GIK was starting way back. They got a fantastic start, and that's put Bolton 0.5 seconds down on them. GIK pulling away then from Bolton. That's Exeter off. Exeter are off in the grass. An absolute disaster for the team that were on the front row of the grid as the lights went out. They had a slow start, and things have gone from bad to worse for the team from Exeter, as through on them goes Bizkaya, and that is Exeter down into 20th position. Meanwhile, here is Vigo closing in on the University of Leicester. GIK 0.6 seconds ahead of Bolton. Queen Mary behind Bolton there. Leicester, and that is GIK going immediately into the pits already. What? They've only done 1 lap.
I think it would be safe to say that if you can go from 9th to 1st before you get to turn 1, there's only one reason why they're coming into the pits. No, not fuel at all. No, drive-through penalty. They've jumped the starts immensely. You don't go from 9th to 1st before turn 1. No one's that good at starting.
Oh, naughty from GIK. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
I did wonder, but I didn't like to say anything.
I don't know, that was quite hilarious. That was like Patamao Donado quality there. So well done, guys. I love that.
Well done, Monty. Well done. Welcome.
Fernando asking what happened to Exeter. Good question. I'd like to know the same. I'd like to know. Exeter started in second. They got slightly swamped at the start. Their reaction time just wasn't there. You can see it on the replay. But being down in 18th, I think they got punted off and they were in the grass. At 1 point. Queen Mary in second then, closing in on Bolton, who are now back rightfully in the lead. 1 lap down, second in progress, 12 minutes on the clock. Through on York, that is York A coming through on that's York alumni, going wheel to wheel with Surrey. Ben driving for Surrey, their team leader, not expecting to be out on track tonight and trying to hold their own. Meanwhile, here's Delft, definitely holding their own, up from the back of the grid and all the way to 17th. A remarkable recovery already with only 1.5 laps down. They're duking out right into the mix with Hull, Munster, and all of a sudden falling down the grid. That's Surrey. A disaster for Robertson, the team lead. He explained earlier he wasn't expecting to be driving tonight, and all of a sudden things have gone from overwhelming to catastrophic, and they are relegated right the way down into 22nd, Jess.
It was probably a lack of practice because they weren't expecting to, and sometimes the lack of practice does not help you, speaking from experience, as we could see York A making their way past, not York A, York B making their way past York A, and they're going to try and make their way past other cars soon. If they're not careful, no, they're not. They're going to mow the lawn like no tomorrow. So they're going to not have a good one as well. Meanwhile, in the background, Aberdeen is past Vienna up into a place. So Scottish having a good race, but no, they're going to be fighting back in the background with Coventry and Hull A back in this top server for the first time tonight. They're still going to go side by side again. That's going to be very risky, lads, but I think they're keeping it clean so far. They're banging wheels. All 3 of them are within a second of each other, as we can see. Oh, that was fantastic for Vienna, but they got onto the grass. Hopefully not an unsafe rejoin, please, but that allows Coventry to come back. Hull A's not going to give up without a fight. Vienna's like, hold my ravioli. This is going to be very interesting.
Absolutely spellbinding stuff as Aberdeen and Scottish pull away from the pack. Coventry under pressure from Vienna with Hull waiting in the wings. Meanwhile, Will has confirmed that Exeter got hit from the back, and that's a huge disaster for Delft. Delft are off in a big way, a massive way. They are falling down the running order as they try and get back out on track. They just managed to do so onto the racing line, but they had nowhere else to go. Delft relegated into 24th after a remarkable recovery, coming together with the midfield, and that's punted them back down to the back of the grid. Exeter are now in 15th, having started in second. According to Will, their technical director, they got punted off from behind as they go to wheel with, I believe that's Hull there side by side with, as they try and go a nose ahead round the outside. I just don't think they're going to have this, and they get pushed again. Oh no, Exeter really having no luck tonight at all. Punted off from the back by Coventry, that looked to me like. And an absolute disaster then for Exeter.
Exeter, that's not what we want to see from them, of course, but they were involved in an instant. Let's see if they can fight back, Giles, but Coventry wants to fight back too on the back of Hole A as well. The traffic is growing and growing and growing, and it's not like the last race where you can pit and get rid of this traffic. You have to basically deal with it, as we can see. Coventry Hole A with the switchback of dreams here, but Coventry A is going to be like, no, oh, they backed a bit of wheels there. We got the Illuminati team of York right in the back of this as well. Oh, they made contact, Giles. They made contact, and I think that's a bit of damage. They probably might have to come in. That's going to allow Harriet Watt and GIK through. They almost made contact. That was too close for comfort. Vizcaya almost got past them, and Vizcaya's not going to make this look easy for Hull. As they go up the hill, they make a contact again. Hull A's day is going from bad to worse.
You're going to need a toilet plunger to get the dents out of Hull A's car by the end of this race. That's hey, they've held it out on track and they've put it all out there, really hanging it through as they try and contend with a charging pack. It's all action here for the second race of the evening. Bolton leading, Queen Mary in second, Leicester in third, Vigo in fourth, UCLM in fifth, and going round on the inside are Munster on York's alumni team. MTU is that, I think it is, and Munster go through, and that is Hull A. I think they're out. They're DNF. Hull A out of this race. A disaster for the team from Hull, who looked to be so positive when the grid lined up. Surrey, meanwhile, coming through, trying to squeeze through on the inside between Vizcaya and Sussex. A bold move, and they've tried to go. I think they have
MTU's round.
They've gone through on Vizcaya. MTU are well off, and they've come back onto the track. Meanwhile, I'm reliably informed that UCLM have the Spanish equivalent of Monty. He's called Magic Montoro. So there we go. We found Monty's Spanish cousin. Elsewhere, Elsewhere, here's Leicester then. Leicester in third, holding off a charging Vigo. They're going to really want to put themselves in a better position if they can, because there's 7 minutes to go, and we know what Vigo are like. Will, meanwhile, commiserating in the comments over Exeter's poor luck this evening. An absolute disaster for the 18 from Devon. Meanwhile, Leicester are under pressure still from Vigo as they sweep round the start-finish straight, coming out of the pit, coming past the pit exit. Vigo, I don't know, are they going to make a late lunge of it here, Jess? I think they are. Yes, they do. Vigo, a late lunge down on the inside of Leicester, and that puts Vigo onto the final spot on the podium. Can Leicester get the switch back here? No, they can't. Vigo putting their car into a position.
Oh, that's not ended well. That's not ended well.
Vigo really do know how to defend, because that was nearly enough identical with what happened with Southampton. They're so good at putting their car into a legal but difficult position when defending, and as a result, the contact there, it could have well gone the exact same way it did between Leicester and not Leicester, Southampton and Vigo last round out. Some incredibly defensive driving there from Vigo. Leicester do go through, but as we saw last round out, it could well go to the stewards. Meanwhile, Glasgow's A-team in 7th, Southampton and UCLM battling out ahead of them. Wisely, Glasgow holding back just a moment, seeing what happens between these two titans of Formula Student. UCLM have definitely made their presence felt, and Southampton have been here from the beginning. Southampton trying to find a way around, looking to the inside, looking to the out. They do make contact, sending UCLM onto the grass. That allows Glasgow to really close in and go round the outside on their compatriots of the old days of sim racing. Southampton and Glasgow been here since the beginning, battling it out, and Glasgow go through on Southampton and start now reeling in UCLM. Glasgow wisely keeping it clean. UCLM and Southampton unable to do so by the looks of things. Leicester, meanwhile, Vigo have gone back ahead of them. Whether they were overtaken or gained the position back, I don't know, but now Leicester are trying to make a move round the outside of Vigo here. Leicester coming through them. No, they're not quite managing it on this back, but can they get the switch back onto the inside? No. As I've said, Vigo, immense at defensive driving. Very, very well done here from the Spaniards, and Leicester growing more and more frustrated with the black MX-5 that seems like a monolith in front of them. It's double the width through the corners, and they've got 4.5 minutes or so on the clock now, so time is of the essence here, Jess, for Leicester to get past.
Yep, they got to make the move soon because we got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, and every point counts in the sim racing series because it could come down to a few points when we go down to the final round, and we see this many times as well. If you have one bad round, it's okay, but if you have multiple bad rounds, it's not gonna do you any wonders. As we got York A, who's had a nightmare of a race so far. They've had a bit of a spin and then down to 24th place. Meanwhile, Harriet Watt is through on Surrey and is up into 15th position.
Sorry to
What's
interrupt you, Jess, but Exeter and Harriet Watt just took a rather interesting line. They're doing the Percy the Parkkeeper out of the job, just like going surfing across the grass there. That was rather interesting. Surrey have got through on Harriet Watt, but Exeter trying to make good and recover. They're up into 14th, having started in second, and then 2 doses of rather unfortunate contact to put them right out of the top 10. Meanwhile, here comes Leicester yet again. We saw it earlier. Can they make it work this time around on the outside of Vigo? No, they can't. Vigo defending like an absolute master on the tarmac at the Virginia International Speedway behind the wheel of this Mazda MX-5. Leicester just can't find a way past. It's almost like a brick wall preventing them from getting onto the podium. And this is just a spellbinding look at how to drive defensively. Vigo becoming rather notorious for it. They made Southampton struggle last time, and Leicester here again struggling to get through on Vigo. 2 minutes 50 left on the clock. 7 laps complete. Here they go then. Can they go round? No, they can't. I don't think this is going to work for them. They just cannot get through. And I feel like the pace is with Leicester, but Vigo's defence, there's nothing in it. Less than 0.5 seconds between these two drivers. Significantly no distance between the front and the back, but Leicester just cannot find a clean way past. And you don't want it to end in contact. And it's almost giving Senna and Mansell around Monaco. This is immense defensive driving from Vigo, holding up Leicester. And in a minute, UCLM, Glasgow and Southampton are going to be all over the back end of Leicester. You can see it in the rear view there. That red dot is UCLM. Here comes Leicester. Can they get through this time on the start-finish straight? They're side by side through the sweeping right-hander, past the pit exit. They're side by side now. Can they get through? I don't think they're going to be able to. I just don't see it happening. Can they get the switch back? No, they can't. This is just masterful from Vigo.
Vigo's not giving up without a fight, neither is Southampton or Glasgow. Of course, championship rivals, many seasons gone by, they're battling for sixth place right now, along with Aberdeen. Look at that! Aberdeen is joining the party right now, and now Leicester's gone back. Yeah, there you go again. I'll let you take this, Giles.
Leicester are side by side. They were momentarily ahead on the timing board, and they're side by side through the chicane. This is incredibly tight racing, and you can see the rest of the field reeling them in. 1 minute 10 on the clock. It's all going. Leicester are ahead as they go under the bridge. Leicester take the lead, but Vigo's got the inside line. Can they get back through? No, they can't. And now it's Leicester defending, and Vigo, not only have they lost the position here, but they've got a whole train building up behind them as UCLM close in on their Spanish compatriots. This is going to be incredibly close indeed. As 8 laps are completed, they're on their 9th, less than a minute on the board. And here comes Aberdeen ahead of several teams, and that's Glasgow all the way down to 10th. They've had a bit of an issue there, but it's Bolton in the lead as they come across the line to start what will be their final lap. They're a whole 6 seconds ahead of Queen Mary. Queen Mary themselves 8 seconds ahead of the University of Leicester. Leicester far more concerned with what's behind them than what's in front as Vigo goes side by side round the outside of the right-hander. Can they outbreak the team from Leicester? This is an incredibly intense battle, but Leicester have the racing line, but Vigo are ahead by a nose. This is going to be so close indeed, all the way to the line, undoubtedly, but Vigo go ahead of Leicester as they get onto the inside of the left-hander on the International Raceway of Virginia. This is incredibly exciting stuff. Switching back are Leicester on Vigo. They're side by side swapping paint, and they have to concede to Vigo, and Leicester are back up into 3rd for the 2nd time in the same lap. And And meanwhile, UCLM have pounced. They've gone through. They were so busy trying to get ahead of Leicester, they weren't looking in their rearview mirrors, and UCLM are up into 4th.
UCLM, yes, are up into 4th position, and I think there's a lot of people are going to be happy about this, Giles, but I know Vigo's not going to give up without a fight, as Bolton is about to finish the race, Giles.
Bolton coming across the line, but all eyes right now on the battle between UCLM and Vigo. Vigo ahead of Vigo behind UCLM. They were in 4th, busy battling for 3rd, and UCLM pounced. And across the line go Bolton to take their 2nd victory of the evening. It is the first time in a long time we've had back-to-back wins for one team. Queen Mary back up in the top, recovering from a poor race out earlier this evening. They take 2nd place. And that's University of Leicester managing to get across the line in 3rd. Bolton and Vigo and UCLM. Oh, it's a close. Oh my gosh! Vigo got it! Vigo got it in the last moment. According to the timing board, it was a photo finish for 4th. That is unbelievable.
By 1/100th of a second, Giles. 1/100th. That is
truth.
Insane.
I can't swear on this stream, but if I wasn't on this stream, just know several Anglo-Saxon words will be coming out of my mouth right now. I don't believe what we've just seen there. That's fantastic.
Oh. We're getting the best of the combinations here in this Formula student. It's incredible.
The chat going mad.
Whoa.
What have we just witnessed?
Whoa.
What have we just witnessed? 2 titans of Spanish racing, wheel to wheel, and in the final moments, I couldn't even get it out of my mouth. It happened that quickly. Side by side, down the pit straight, and Vigo, by a 1/10 of a second, took 4th place from UCLM in the final moments of the race.
It's insane. I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words. And it just shows that we get some great action in Formula Student Sim Racing. And can we have the same for future rounds, please? Because I've been loving this season so far.
I love you, Spain. I love you. I like your beer. I like your food. I like your beaches. And I like your racing drivers. Just absolutely impeccable. Oh, my days.
There you go. Now it's time to all the jars of beer. Thank you very much. Joking.
I mean, hey, if a certain Spanish beer manufacturer based in Barcelona would like to sponsor us, or sponsor me, they'd be welcome to. Meanwhile, so many comments coming in. Alejandro saying, no way. McQueen YT saying, no. Montoro has to retire from the sport. C. Vaquera saying, what a battle. Spain on top. Incredible. GTV Archangel says, tiebreaker in California for the Piston Cup. That was literally a tongue. A tongue was in that. I just can't believe that. Well done, Bolton. Well done to all the teams. Excellent racing, says Spook 6mm 418. I mean, yes, all of that action at the for 4th, and we haven't even spoken about the fact that for the first time in several races, several rounds, in fact, we've had back-to-back wins from a single team, and I don't think any of us were expecting it to be the team that it was. Bolton have proven that it's not just about racing superiority.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find the driver who won that race so I can send her the link.
Don't worry, Jess. He's on his way. They're going to use the same channel again, so they're going to be with us momentarily. I promise you. But
perfect.
No, I agree with Giles. I mean, we were all thinking it was going to be like one of the Titan protagonists, but actually, it was one of the original protagonists who we haven't really seen fighting at the top that much of late, and yet suddenly, out of nowhere, University of Greater Manchester. Back-to-back wins.
We might have to nickname them the University of Greater Management now, because that was a real impeccable showing from what happens when you've got a team for strategy behind you in the cockpit. And Bolton will be joining us here in the commentary box. In fact, here they are. Bolton back again for the 2nd time this evening. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Oh, they seem to have an audio issue. This is fantastic.
Have they got any audio? Oh, they're you're on camera. You might want to spit your gum out. Meanwhile,
it adds to the student charm. What are you on about, Giles?
Whilst we get the audio sorted, Scottish has commented, not often I get annoyed with a P7. Podium could have been there if I wasn't such an idiot on the first couple of laps. You did a damn sight better than I ever could, McScottish, I'll tell you that. We're trying to get the audio sorted for the guys from Bolton. You can see them on your screens there. Clearly, there is a whole team coming to you live from the University of Greater Manchester who have put this result in the bag for one of the old school protagonists here on the Sim Racing. There's a thumb up there from someone. I imagine they can hear us. Can we hear them?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great now.
How are you feeling? Because there was no opportunity for pit stops there. That was straight wheel-to-wheel action from the word go right the way through to the end, and you just went away with it from pole. I mean, there was the moment when you did lose the lead, but there were reasons for that weren't your fault. So how was that for you?
Yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking at the start when a driver who had jumped the start went ahead of me, but I just had to hold off from the car behind because I knew he had a drive-through penalty. So thankfully they pitted at the end of lap 1, so I could just drive away from there.
Jess, I'll pass over to you for the rest of the interview.
Thank you. Talk us through, of course, what happened with the shorter race. Did that change much in terms of the approach or on the battles you were having on track in terms of managing your tyres potentially?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was more like 11 or 12 quali laps instead of managing any fuel, because I could just take half a tank or so to the end of the race because it was the shorter race distance. So just practice qualifying, and that came together to make the race easily.
So what was the plan in terms of the setup then? Were you prioritising something that would give you a bit more top end speed, or were you prioritising a bit more bits that could help you in the elevation changes in the corners?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely lots of bumps and curbs that I had to take quite harshly, so definitely set the car up for that. And the top end speed I didn't really set up for as much. It helped that I had no ballast with the Joker, so I was
yes.
Anyway. But yeah, I needed a good soft car to take the curbs, and the big bump in the last corner that was quite hard to avoid, but managed it well.
I think it is great to see that a team that chose their Joker in this round has paid off for both teams, but though for both races, for you to go on and win it. What made you pick Virginia as your Joker tonight?
I believe we had this round 2 years ago. And
correct, 2024, 2023, can't remember which one, but there we go.
The team had great pace then, and it built a good setup. And I found that a lot of teams ran the Joker, so having good pace sort of dropped us 10 positions instead of the usual 2 or 3. So we decided not to take that risk this time and run the Joker. And as we saw, there was 8 or 9 other teams that also took the Joker, and well, we won the race, so clearly worked out.
Yeah, I think consistent, and you were able to keep your rivals behind you. That was great. And speaking of course, the Virginia circuit, the engineering challenge was happening. How did you find that this time? And do you think that's going to help you for future rounds, and maybe this round as well?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really take part in the engineering challenge. It's more my fellow engineers. And my team's engineers. So hopefully they did well.
Fair do. So with the engineering challenge, then I guess you have the engineers taking part in that, and of course you have the drivers taking part in the racing. Do you have a rough idea of what they do around that? Do they ask for your help occasionally?
Not really, because my teammate Mitch is a very strong engineer and also a very strong driver. So I mean.
So he can help with that. Perfect. I like that. It's good to have a multidisciplinary team. Giles, any final questions?
Just a quick one, and I don't know whether you'll be able to answer this, and no worries if you can't, but if there's anybody out over there at Bolton that could answer this, how is it looking for your car headed towards next year at Silverstone? I asked that of every team, and I will continue to ask it because I'm always excited about what we're going to see at Silverstone. Bolton have been there consistently. They've tried experimental stuff. Double thumbs up. It's a double thumbs up for Bolton. I mean,
that's the head of assembly who's at the back of the room just said. So,
I mean, the good news is you haven't got a rubber chain this time. You haven't got a rubber belt anymore, which is always nice. Back to a chain drive. Are we going to see a slightly lower ride height from you guys going for 2026? Because I know previously you've run quite bulky tires and quite a high ride height.
I mean, that's for you to know the event, really, isn't it? We're working on a few things, but yeah, they're still early days. But yeah, development's good, so we're quite happy with how it's going.
I look forward to seeing you guys at Silverstone, and I look forward to seeing more of you in the Sim Racing series. Back to you, Jess.
I think that's all my questions that I think you were talking about, and that. So, massive congratulations, successful evening for you. You can replicate that after Christmas.
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
Brilliant. First, many congratulations, and I hope you and the rest of your team have a happy holiday and a good Christmas.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. In fact, Rory from Bolton has just got in touch to say we've started with the chassis this week and they're running 10-inch wheels this year.
Yes.
So I look forward to seeing...
I'm excited.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
So
10-inch wheels is a cool upgrade, says GTV Archangel. And apparently Queen Mary Formula Student have some new deliveries, according to GTV Archangel. I don't know what those deliveries are. It might well just be pizza.
It could be, for all we know. No, I was just going to say, Rory was showing me around parts of their design and that a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, so smaller wheels for this year. For 2026, I should say. The other thing as well, which was really encouraging, is that their build project is about 6 weeks sooner than it was this time. How do I want to put
6
this?
weeks ahead of their schedule.
Not ahead of their schedule, but compared to where they were in last year's build project, they're 6 weeks ahead. So they have made a lot of progress, leaps and strides this season. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes with that. But yeah, no, that was really good. We are just waiting for the last of the points to be published, guys, because apparently there was a restart on server 2, so they're only just finishing their race now. So we're going to have to wait a couple more minutes before we can declare who our overall winner. I think we've worked that one out already, given that they've won both races. But you know what I mean, the final results for tonight. And,
for everyone else.
Yes, everyone else. And publish the engineering challenge results as well. I am feeling, just to kill 60 seconds, shall we give the viewers one last chance to scan that QR code for the FSO?
Yes. Yes, roll VT!
Get the phones ready, guys. Go and scan that QR code. We want to see you subscribe to Formula Students Online.
Get your phones.
Hope you managed to scan the QR code. Apparently, Monty, you have news.
I do have news. That photo finish, which we saw, the timetable, the timing tree, lied to us.
Oh.
What?
Check this out, guys. It was UCLM who managed to hold on to fourth.
But
the
no way!
But the gap was even closer. Look at that. 0.487, 0.500. 13 thousandths of a second between UCLM and Vigo. So no, UCLM did manage to hold on to fourth just. So sorry for the confusion we caused there. That was the timing boards doing timing board things again. But yeah, no, we can confirm UCLM did manage to hold on to fourth position, which is jolly exciting to say the least. But Just before we announce the final results, because so the second server had to restart apparently, so they've literally only just finished now, so the points are just being totted up, so we can declare the overall winner. But just so you guys can see, here's what the results of the second server looked like. So it was De Montfort who won from Strathclyde in second, UE in third, KON in fourth, with Oakland's Hertfordshire College in fifth. That's a better result, guys. Nicely done. Bath in sixth, Dublin in seventh, Strathclyde's B team in eighth, Vermilion in ninth, Sheffield Hallam in 10th, UMD in 11th, Munster B team in 12th, Liverpool, Bal I cannot remember.
I think it was Beaumont.
Beaumont, thank you very much.
Beaumont, yeah, from Lebanon.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for correcting me there. Exeter B, after being in the top server, they were only 15th in the second server for the second race. Hong Kong Polytechnic A in 16th, IUT in 17th, Kingston in 18th, Victoria in 19th, Cambridge 20th, Hull B in 21st, and Salford in 22nd. Our highest climber was Bath, making up 15 positions. Meanwhile, in the race we were watching, the highest climber was, it looks like, Hull Alumni, making up 13 places. Honourable mention, though, to Hertfordshire A team again, though, for making up 11 places. It was a very, very chaotic race, was it not, guys?
Absolutely. I can't believe that we thought we had a photo finish go one way and it went the other. I'm staggered by that.
Yeah, that was something else. Right, the admins have told me the points are ready now. So, I think just to keep people on suspense, we should talk about the engineering challenge first. Get those points.
Yes, absolutely. Go for it, Monty.
Pardon me. Right, so, guys, the engineering challenge, as you would have seen, it is our unique selling point of the sim racing series. And for the first challenge which our students had to do, they were given a challenge to produce a report pretending that their client was an amateur track day enthusiast, and they had to work out how to get these MX-5s to behave and in a time attack setup to maximize their mechanical grip. We had 20 teams enter submissions. Now, they don't get points based on who got the fastest lap in the server. They are being judged on their engineering rationale, their communication skills, their justification skills as well. We're actually testing their engineering skills now. Maths and science just in a virtual world. And their reports were being judged by actual engineering professionals. And I can now share with you guys that the engineering professionals have decided that the best reports that they had read, congratulations for winning the first challenge, goes to the University of Strathclyde, who takes 60 points, with UCLM there in second position. So great first attempt from them. We don't really see them join the challenges in the past. Glasgow, yet again in the top three. If they're not winning, they're always in the top three. Honourable mentions, though, to Exeter. I believe this is the best one they've done to date. In fourth, with Belfast fifth, Leicester sixth, Vigo seventh, Surrey in eighth, Basque Country, Biscaya, beg your pardon.
Biscaya.
In ninth, and York in 10th. Southampton, Queen Mary, unusually weak submissions from them, only in 11th and 12th. UCL, we haven't seen them in the servers at all, but here we are, they're in 13th. Dublin in 14th, Hertfordshire in 15th. Greater Manchester had submitted, but they had sent it to the wrong email, and so we couldn't score them any points. So that was a massive...
Oh, naughty!
That was a massive facepalm moment, to say the least. It was a crying shame.
Especially after the results for this round. Can you imagine? I would imagine, given how good the results were on the track, because obviously the engineering challenge ties into the race that it's for, I would imagine that that was a good submission that just was disqualified from being sent to the wrong email address.
And that is exactly what I'm thinking on that one as well, Giles. So, yes, a crying shame for them on that, but alas, rules are rules and we have to follow them because it is motorsport at the end of the day. But yes,
Indeedy.
exactly. But no, I have to say, so congratulations to Strathclyde, 60 huge points to include in there. Any teams wanting to win this championship this year, you don't need to be doing just the races. You need these engineering challenges as well, because as you can see, it's worth a race victory. So you're not going to win a championship.
That's how Queen Mary won last year.
And that's
See them.
exactly. Yep, you're quite right, Jess. That's exactly how they won. So, with that in mind, let's move on to the results themselves. For tonight, guys, of course, our overall winner, absolutely no head scratch on this one. Congratulations to the University of Greater Manchester. Look at that, an absolute clean sweep, 124 points, because they were able to take pole position and fastest lap, those extra bonus points. So that is a very good day's work, I'd say, guys. With University of Southampton, believe it or not, because all the teams beneath were all over the place. They were all, I guess you could say, just trying to, well, like those who did, those who did well in the first round did terribly in the second race, and vice versa. So we've got this absolute topsy-turvy order here, where we've got Southampton in second, Coventry with their best ever result in third, Vigo in fourth, Glasgow in fifth. But look at how close these points are. UCLM in sixth, Queen Mary, even though they had a really bad first round, made up for it in the second round, so still get seventh. Surrey in eighth, as I say, they're never out the top 10. Aberdeen in ninth, Leicester in 10th, De Montfort in 11th, Hertfordshire A in 12th, Exeter in 13th, with York A in 14th, Basque Country Biscaya in 15th, York's alumni team in 16th, Strathclyde A in 17th, Hull alumni in 18th. Definitely an evening for the alumni, guys. Munster in 19th, and Delft rounding out the top 20. Now, what does that do for our overall standings? Well,
I wonder.
And, well, it's looking very tight at the top. Vigo are championship leaders as we leave Virginia with Queen Mary. Queen Mary, yep, just 3 points behind. Southampton there in third, with Leicester just a point behind in fourth. And Greater Manchester, after taking 124 points, well up the order now in fifth. Surrey in sixth. York A, this could be their drop round, I suspect, in seventh. Glasgow in eighth. Hertfordshire in ninth. And UCLM rounding out the top 10. But look at Strathclyde. They would not even be in the top 20 without winning the engineering challenge, but those extra 60 points have thrown them all the way up to 12th as well. So
incredible.
What an evening of racing, guys.
There's a question on the chat that I think is worth answering. Jimmy has asked, how do you get 0.9 points?
Is a very...
Hull alumni have got 0.9, 94.9.
It's a very good question. So for those who've been taking part with one driver entries, the first time they do it, we'll let them have full points. Thereafterwards, it's a ratio, or a percentage, I should say, of the total points scored. So I believe it goes 95%, 80%, 60%, or something like that. So Hull alumni must have been doing a one-driver entry again tonight. So as a result, 95% of whatever they originally scored gave them 0.9 instead. So that is how you get the 0.9, guys, because these one-driver entries, you're not only starting at the back of the grid, but you will also pay a penalty with the points themselves.
Oh.
Worth knowing, then.
I'm going to shut up now because my voice is knackered.
Oh, bless your heart, Monty. Can we just get a lot of love in the chat for Monty for being an absolute trooper? Because bear in mind, although myself and Jess do a lot of the commentary during the races, Monty's here with us in the off time. Not to mention, he's controlling the whole thing. He is a one-man studio, controlling everything that you see on screen, transitioning between shots, moving the camera around during the races.
And the admin.
Exactly. So can we just get a genuine, a round of applause, Fs or whatever it is on the chat? Because here's a man who is battling through the flu. Well, and I can guarantee you, if I was in this situation, I would be in bed making a right royal fuss. So big up, Monty.
And Monty, go to bed after this, please.
Yes, nurse. Yes, nurse. Straight to bed.
We do need you back in January, mate. Meanwhile, fantastic racing from start to finish tonight. Some great stuff. Bolton proving undoubtedly that not only is it about on-track racecraft, it's about off-track strategy and making sure you've got a good team around you who take things properly seriously. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the behind-the-scenes VT next race out. So make sure you're tuned in for that one in January. Make sure you get your submissions in for FS News. We can't just have Bolton's one on repeat. We want Greater Manchester. We want yours as well. So do please get in touch. Memes are welcome. TikToks are welcome. Newsletters, we'll read those out. We'll put them on the screen. Photos of updates from your car, tours of your team, videos. What we really want is 1 minute to 3 minute videos of your team doing what they do best. Get in touch. Just make sure there's no copyright material in them. We'd love that. We'll be back with you in January to kick off the rest of the season. But for now, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year from all of us here in the Virtual Commentary Box. It's a goodbye from Jess.
Bye.
It's a goodbye from Monty.
Goodbye. Can I go to bed now?
Yes, you can, mate.
Yes,
It's a goodbye from me as well. Catch you guys in the new year. Bye for now.
Merry Christmas.